and by Beck's Beer. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to opening night of the 1987-88 National Hockey League season. It comes to you from here at the Forum in Los Angeles, where tonight the Los Angeles Kings open up the season, skating against the New York Islanders. And the Kings are certainly hoping tonight that they can start the season off in better fashion than they have been in recent years, because the Kings haven't won an opening game since 1980, and the 6 years since then, 0-3-3. But there certainly is reason to feel optimistic about this Los Angeles Kings team, and most everyone seems to have that type of a feeling. If you take a look at last year, and the Kings began to make some strides. First of all, that 70 points that you see them with right there in the standings in 4th place, not particularly impressive, but it did represent an increase of 16 points over the year before and a position in the playoffs. As far as the New York Islanders are concerned, last year they finished 3rd in the Patrick Division with 82 points, but that was only 2 games over 500 for New York, and for the Islanders that meant their worst record in 13 years, so in a sense they too are hoping to turn things around this season. Well, last year the Kings certainly saw their new talent come to the fore, and they had 3 members of the all-rookie team, Luc Robitaille, Jimmy Carson, Steve Duchesne, who performed admirably throughout the season. This year the Kings are hoping once again that infusion of new talent will mean a significant rise in the standings once again. As far as the Kings' new players are concerned this year, they have Peter Preisler, the new player from Czechoslovakia, the highly regarded #1 draft choice Wayne McBean, who we will not see in action tonight due to a cut eye, but Glenn Healy, the goaltender from the American Hockey League, New Haven last year, a couple of first-round draft picks from the 1985 season, Greg Duncanson and Dan Gratton, and Bob Kudelski, who was a #1 draft pick in the 1986 supplemental draft. As well, the Kings added another new player this week. His name is Tim Tookie. They got him from the Philadelphia Flyers in the waiver draft on Monday, and Tim Tookie was the most valuable player and leading scorer in the American Hockey League last year, so it could be another additional player to make a significant contribution. Some players are no longer going to be wearing Kings uniforms this year. They include Morris Lukowich, Paul Gay, Darren Elliott, Bob Janicek, Al Jensen, and Dave Langevin. The New York Islanders are going to have some new players this year as well, but certainly not nearly as many as the Los Angeles Kings. First of all, Brad Delgarno, a right wing, Randy Wood, and Derek King. As far as the Islanders who will not be with the team this year, Dwayne Sutter, who is now wearing a Chicago Blackhawks uniform, Ari Hanpa, Dale Henry, Roger Cordo, and Randy Boyd. But of course, the most significant member of the New York Islanders who will not be with the team this year, Mike Bossy. That disc problem in his back has meant that he is going to have to sit out this entire 1987-88 season, and that's a real blow to the New York Islanders because they are losing a perennial 50-goal scorer. Well, it is opening night, and so let's take a look at our opening nutcracker of the 1987 season, and here it is for you. Back in 1972, the Islanders' Mike Bossy broke the NHL record for the most goals by a rookie in a season. He scored 44. Whose record did he shatter? We'll tell you right after this message.
You could ask for Toyota quality and get a truckload of free options. Chrome bumpers, free. Style steel wheels, free. Sports striping, free. Full carpeting, cloth bench seats, all free. $630 worth of free options on Toyota limited edition 4x4s. Priceless Toyota quality and free options. Now who's looking out for #1? Toyota. Who could ask for anything more?
There are over 4,000 beers brewed in Germany, but only a few have made it to America. And of those few, the one that's made it to the top is Beck's. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer. Beers keep pouring into this country from all over the world, but the best beer still comes from Germany. And the best German beer in America is Beck's. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
The volatile John McEnroe and the extremely talented Miloslav Bachir make up round 3 of the 4-man 87 Michelin Tennis Challenge, coming back to the Forum on Monday night, October 12th. You can get great seats by ordering your tickets now. Call the Forum at 213-419-3257. Tickets are also available at Ticketmaster locations. John McEnroe is back in the Forum. Get your tickets now for the Michelin Tennis Challenge, October 12th. Catch all the excitement with Kings season seats.
In 1972, the Islanders' Mike Bossy broke the NHL record for the most goals by a rookie in a season when he scored 44. Whose record did he shatter that year? It was Richard Martin of the Buffalo Sabres, who of course went on to become a member of the famed French Connection line. Well, here at the Forum, we're going to get a chance to see the Kings in action for the first time, and there's an unusual amount of optimism surrounding the Kings this year. Bob Miller and Nick Nixon have been with the team throughout the preseason. Bob, what do you think of that optimism?
Well, you're right, Rich. It's been a long time since I've seen this kind of enthusiasm from coaches, management, and players at the start of the season, and I think that's a good sign. Players here feel they can win, and Nick, they're going to set some goals for themselves, and if they attain those goals, it will be a very successful season.
And of course, a short-term goal is to get off to a good start, because the last 4 years the Kings have struggled getting out of the gate. The Kings have not won a home opener or a season opener, for that matter, since 1980. So they'd like to get off on the right foot here tonight against the Islanders. Over the course of the season, goals against. Last year they gave up 341. That ranked 20th in the league. They've got to cut down in that area if they're going to go anywhere, not only in the regular season, but also come playoff time. The penalty killing has been a problem. 4 of the last 5 years, dead last. Mike Murphy feels the forwards are doing the job. He wants the defensemen to be a bit more aggressive. And then in your own division, you want to improve there in the divisional games and move up in the standings, if not for just the simple fact of avoiding Edmonton in the first round.
Well, Rogie Vachon, the general manager, has said that second place is what the Kings want to finish in the division this year, or where they want to finish, and nothing less than that is going to be acceptable. And I think a lot of the players have the feeling that this team can be a winner.
I think that's true, and I think that gets back to point number one we made earlier. Get off to that good start. That'll get everybody in a right frame of mind. You win 5 or 6 of your first 7 or 8 games, and you say, hey, we can beat anybody out there. The Edmontons, the Philadelphias, whereas like we've seen in past years, you don't get off to that good start, you don't have any confidence.
Well, we'll find out starting tonight how this confidence is going to pan out for the Kings as they make their race for second place in the Smythe division this year. Back to you, Rich.
Okay, and that brings us here on opening night now to our second nutcracker of the night as we get ready to watch the Kings in action for the first time this season. And here it is. Who was the first King rookie to lead the team in goal scoring? We'll let you know who that was right after this.
Want to know how to be a leader? You got to put out extra effort, carry more in your share of the load, like a Toyota. You got to be able to handle the rough like a Toyota 4x4. So, the other guys are always scrambling to catch up. And to really stay ahead, you got to be the #1 crowd pleaser. Who could ask for anything more?
In America, more and more people who really appreciate beer are drinking German beer. And the German beer they're drinking more of is Beck's. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer. It's well known that the best beer in the world comes from Germany. And the best German beer in America is Beck's. So when you're drinking Beck's, you're drinking the best of the best. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
Want to find out the scores of the day, the fast-breaking sports news, and the people who make it? Then you want Prime Ticket Daily News Dial Sports. It's the fastest, easiest way to find out game analysis, weather information, player injuries, and with up-to-the-minute reporting 24 hours a day with fresh updates every 5 minutes. Plus, find out what's on Prime Ticket tonight. Just call 213-976-1313. Prime Ticket Daily News Dial Sports.
How would you like to win a week on the exotic Hawaiian island of Maui with airfare and hotel accommodations included? Sound great? Well, here's all you gotta do. Enter the Send Me to Maui contest by correctly identifying the mystery phrase that'll be revealed on each of Prime Ticket's Team Cup volleyball cable casts. A letter of the phrase will be unveiled each show. Once you have the entire phrase, send it on a postcard with your name, address, phone number, and cable system to Send Me to Maui contest, P.O. Box 10, Inglewood, California. The winner will be announced on the October 16th cable cast of the USA Cup game.
Who was the first King rookie to lead the team in goal scoring? Well, it was the old Cowboy, Bill Flatt. Back in the 1967-68 season, Cowboy Bill scored 26 goals for the Kings. This is the Kings' 21st opening game in the National Hockey League. For the Islanders, their 16th. They square off tonight at the Forum. But there is also a full slate of action around the National Hockey League. St. Louis and Vancouver beginning in just a little while. Detroit and Calgary scoreless in the first. Washington and Boston a 2-2 tie, second period of play. We have Quebec leading Hartford 4-1 in the third period. It's Minnesota and Buffalo 2-2 tie in the second period. And Philadelphia leads Montreal. That's a 2-1 lead for the Flyers in the third period. Toronto leads Chicago 3-2 second. Pittsburgh and the New York Rangers are tied 3-3. A reminder that once again this year, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be having our Ask a King question, where we invite you, the viewers, to write in your questions on a postcard and ask them of any member of the Los Angeles Kings organization. Now, if you would like to have your letter answered on the air, please address it and address the player that you want it asked of to Ask a King, 401 South Prairie, Inglewood, California, 90301. Well, there's a tremendous amount, as we heard Bob and Nick talking about, of optimism with the Los Angeles Kings this year. Coach Mike Murphy is ready to start his first full season. Does he have that same type of optimism?
I'm very optimistic, as I'm sure most NHL coaches are at this time for the upcoming season. I think we've made some improvements in our team over the summer. The acquisition of young Wayne McBean to play on defense is going to greatly help us over the course of the season. I feel our defense is a much stronger position than it was a year ago. To support that fact, we still have 9 defensemen here with the Los Angeles Kings, and we've been unable to decide what 6 will be our regular 6. I think the Rolly Melanson, having risen to the level of being one of the top 2 or 3 goaltenders in the National Hockey League last season, is going to give us the needed goaltending we have to have for the drive to accomplish our goal of second spot in the Smythe Division.
And a couple of final notes about the New York Islanders before we begin tonight's game. While they have lost Mike Bossy, they still have Denis Potvin, who begins his final season in the NHL, and of course the great veteran Brian Trottier and the great youngster Pat LaFontaine. The Kings and the Islanders, opening night in the NHL. It's all coming up next on Prime Ticket.
Prime Ticket has presented King's Corner. This preview of tonight's hockey action has been brought to you by Toyota. Quality right down the line. Who could ask for anything more? And by Beck's Beer. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
Blue. Labatt's blue.
Evening is night.
Blue heaven.
I hurry to my
Smooth.
Clean. Crisp.
Labatt's blue.
a turn to the right.
Imported beer from Canada.
We'll lead you to my
Labatt's blue. Yeah.
heaven.
Prime Ticket will be your place to watch America's Olympic hopefuls as they set off for the road to Seoul. For the next year, up to the Summer Olympic Games in Korea, Prime Ticket will bring you events that will showcase our greatest amateur athletic talent. Such events as track and field, swimming, volleyball, and water polo are just some of the exciting competitions you'll see in the coming year on Prime Ticket. So join Prime Ticket on the road to Seoul and watch the future American champion athletes in action.
When you rent a car from Avis, it comes with a lot of people who want to make sure you're satisfied. Reservation and counter people, mechanics, managers and maintenance people. They're Avis. You may not always see them, but they're there. Rent a Cadillac Seville from Avis for only $45 a day.
Hey, want to see all the events at the Forum, from the Lakers to the Ice Capades to music concerts? How about the same seat for over 250 nights of Forum entertainment annually, including prepaid parking, programs, use of the message board, hostess greeting, a waitress, and VIP amenities? Sound great? Well, there's only one way to get involved, and that's with the unique Senate seating plan available now at the Forum. For information on this truly spectacular seating plan, call the Forum at 213-419-3131. The same seat for every single event.
Hey everybody, don't forget you can catch the Kings all season long, exclusively on Prime Ticket. We'll be watching for you.
Ticket presents the Los Angeles Kings. Exciting National Hockey League action is brought to you by your Southern California Chevrolet dealers, who offer over 90 car, truck, and van models. No matter what your lifestyle or budget, don't buy a car without seeing your Southern California Chevrolet dealer. By Miller Genuine Draft, cold-filtered draft beer. It's as real as it gets. By Discount Tire Centers. For championship performance and unbeatable prices, Discount Tire Centers. We cut prices, not quality. By Great Western's family of companies, over $28 billion in assets, 100 years strong. We'll always be there. And by Avis, who invite you to go in style with a new Cadillac or similar luxury car for only $45 a day. Remember, your other car is an Avis.
Live from the fabulous Forum, the Los Angeles Kings open their 21st National Hockey League season as they host the New York Islanders. Hi, everybody. This is Bob Miller along with Nick Nixon. Nice to have you with us here on opening night for the 87-88 season. Nick, I've mentioned before, I have not seen this enthusiasm in quite a while here. And for the Kings to have a great year, though, and to attain the goals they want to attain, first of all, they've got to get off to a good start for a change.
That's right. I've been here 7 seasons now. I still haven't seen the Kings win on opening night. It's been that long, 0-3-3 in their last 6 home openers, also the season openers. The last 3 years in particular, the Kings off to rugged starts, and it's taken them a long time, and sometimes they haven't recovered in some of those seasons. One year they were 0-6-3. I think they won only 3 of their first 11 last year. So with the first 5 at home, hopefully the Kings can get off on the right foot, right skate, so to speak. They've got their first 5 here at home.
And then they go on that longest road trip of the year, so it's imperative that they get off on the right skate here at home in those 5 games. They want to cut down on the goals against, and they have to improve on the penalty killing. They were last with New Jersey in goals against and last in penalty killing. Assistant coach Phil Meir is going to be with us at the start of each game and each period again this year. Phil is with us now. Phil, from a coach's standpoint, why do you feel there's so much enthusiasm over this year's team?
Well, I feel that 3 things basically are the reason for our enthusiasm. One is the momentum we have from training camp. I think we had an excellent camp. We lost our first 3 games, but did very well in the next 5. The second thing is the attitude of our veterans. I think that they came ready, they came in shape, they came ready to have a good season. And thirdly, our new people, Podolsky, Healy, forget all the names now, but the new people that we have, you know, our new Preisler and so on, have impressed. Their performance were higher than the expectations, and we're very pleased with that. So we're very excited. We're going to have a good season, and we'll have a good game tonight.
Kings assistant coach Phil Meir with his comments on the game. It's the Kings and the Islanders in Game 1, 1987-88 season. We'll be back with the start of tonight's game in just a moment. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
The Forum is once again set to become the launching pad for the rockets fired by some of the world's greatest volleyball talent. It's Great Western Team Cup Volleyball. And for the 2nd straight year, Prime Ticket will bring you exclusive coverage from the Forum. Last season's innovative concept featured co-ed play. This season, it's just the men, so watch out for incredible action. Great Western Team Cup Volleyball. See it happen right here on Prime Ticket.
It's the Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers, led by the great one, Wayne Gretzky, ready to battle the Kings. A powerful Smythe Division matchup Sunday night right here on Prime Ticket.
From the Forum in Inglewood, California, the Los Angeles Kings opening up their 21st season in the National Hockey League. The Kings last year 4th in the Smythe Division with 31 victories, 41 defeats, and 8 ties. For the opposition tonight for the Kings, the New York Islanders, they were 2 games above 500 last year in the Patrick Division. 3rd place, 35 wins, 33 losses, and 12 ties. Right now, both clubs are lining up at their respective blue lines, and before our anthem, the fans being asked for a moment of silence. And
The staff and players of the Los Angeles Kings wish to extend their deepest sympathies to the family and friends of longtime Los Angeles sports writer Don Mary of the Long Beach Press-Telegram, who passed away Tuesday afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for our national anthem, sung this evening by popular entertainer and recording artist, Mr. Leonard Neal.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The officials for tonight's game, the referee is Dennis Morrell, and the linesman, veterans Jimmy Christensen, along with Ryan Bozak. In goal for the New York Islanders, veteran Billy Smith. His statistics last year, 14 wins, 18 losses, and 5 ties. He had a shutout and a goals against of 3.52. And for the Kings, a former Islander and teammate of Billy Smith, Rollie Melanson. Last year with the Kings, 18 wins, 21 losses, 6 ties, an average 3.69 with 1 shutout. Melanson and the Kings defend to our right. We're set for the home opener, the season opener for the Kings. And here with the play-by-play in year number 15, Bob Miller.
All right, Nick, thank you very much, and nice to work with you as you start your 7th full season with the Kings. Puck is taken by the Islanders and sent by Gerald Diddick into the King zone. Chasing it down there behind the King net, Mark Hardy. Game just underway as you join us on radio and TV. Hardy's pass stolen on the left wing side. Islanders hold it in front. A shot is just wide to the right side as Tranche took the pass and shot it wide as he was on the left wing. So the Kings, Mark Hardy's pass stolen in the King zone, and now a 2-line pass is called against the Kings as they pass up to center ice to Luc Robitaille.
Terry Simpson, second year as head coach of the New York Islanders. Of course, he took over for Al Arbour last year. Arbour probably will wind up someday in the Hall of Fame. Arbour coaching the New York Islanders in the late 70s and early 80s to, of course, those 4 consecutive Stanley Cups. He's assisted by former Islander winger Bobby Nystrom, who is standing to his left with a notepad and pencil as you watch on our simulcast tonight.
Brent Sutter is out at center. He was named captain just before the start of tonight's game. Denis Potvin, who says he's going to retire at the end of the year, gave up his captaincy of the Islanders, said get somebody else in here for this season, and it is Brent Sutter. He's out now. Islanders drive it into the Kings zone. Puck comes around the left wing side, now driven around, and the Kings will intercept on the left wing. Brought to center by Bobby Carpenter. Carpenter drives it down into the Islanders zone. Back to get it, Steve Conroy, bumped by Jimmy Fox. Here's Bernie Nichols with it down. Nichols is at center on this line. The right wing is Fox, the left wing Carpenter. Fox steals it behind the Islander net. Fox trying to go into the corner. Here's a penalty against Pat Flatley of the Islanders. A penalty against the Islanders. Delayed call. A pass by Nichols in front of the Islander net. It does not connect, and we have a penalty against New York. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
You know, when I'm not hosting a game show, you'll find me in my Chevy truck around the ranch. The ranching's hard work, but this full-size Chevy sure makes it easier. It's built new from the ground up with a rugged unibody construction, a more powerful engine, and new aerodynamic design. It's a great-looking truck. Guess you could say I drive a Chevy pickup because it's got more whoopee. Don't buy a truck without seeing your Southern California Chevrolet dealer.
The game's first penalty comes early at 1:01 into the first period. Patrick Flatley for holding Jimmy Fox, and the Kings go on the power play. Last year, the Kings were second in the NHL, 24.9%, 97 power play goals. Islander penalty killing ranked 13th.
Kings were tied with the Islanders for that power play percentage. Fox got shaken up. I think he got hit by a stick. He's still in the play, though, against the left wing boards. Here's Fox with it in the Islander zone. Kings on the power play, pass into Nichols. He tried to roll it out in front to Fox, tipped away by Conroy, taken by Carpenter. Bobby Carpenter on the right wing, Islander zone. Carpenter into Nichols. He shoots, and a save by Billy Smith. Glove save, and a quick whistle there by referee Dennis Morrell.
Well, a good play by the Kings. Fox was shaken up, is still attending to his face. He'll skid off now, but Carpenter and Nichols teaming up on the left side of Billy Smith. They finally got the puck down low to Nichols, who walked in front for a backhand shot from point blank, but Smith held his ground and came up with the glove save. Billy Smith, who will be 37 years old this December, 5'10", 185, originally a draft pick by the Los Angeles Kings in the early 70s.
Minute 37 remaining in the King power play. No score first period. Kings with it again. Fox against the left wing boards into Nichols. He overskated it. It's behind the Islander net. Taken there by Conroy. He and Carpenter spin around. Carpenter with it now again behind the Islander net. He tries to get away from Kenny Morrow. Carpenter out to the right point to Redmond. Redmond drives it into Nichols. Nichols behind the Islander net. Back over to Carpenter. Left wing side. He lost it there, and it's cleared by Richard Crom. And his shot from his own zone is on target. And a stick save made by Rolly Melanson, the former Islander. Kings come back moving right to left. Bobby Carpenter across the line, but the Kings are offside. And the Islander blue line with 1:05 remaining in the King power play.
Bobby Carpenter out on left wing. He's played there the entire training camp and will play there, Mike Murphy says, the whole season. He, along with Nichols and Fox. Mike Murphy took over for the final 30 games last year after Pat Quinn was expelled. Mike Murphy begins his first full season as Jimmy Fox gets attended to. Looks like a cut around the right eye, maybe on the forehead.
Boy, there have been a rash of those starting down in San Diego the other night. McBean was cut. Gratton was cut. Laidlaw was cut. Now the puck sent all the way down into the King zone, and Steve Duchesne, a member of the NHL rookie team last year, along with Robitaille and Carson, gives it to Robitaille, over to Carson on the right wing. Carson chases it in. Gerald Diddick checks him into the boards, right wing corner. Puck comes loose, chased down by Alan Kerr of New York, and he will just clear it out to center off the stick of Luc Robitaille. Kings have 34 seconds remaining in the power play. Here's Taylor down the left wing side, stopped by Bob Bassett. Back to the left point to Hardy. Hardy's pass back to Taylor, left wing, Islander zone on the power play. Taylor, top of the circle, back to Hardy. 20 seconds to go. Hardy shooting. It's tipped wide by Carson. Off the boards to the right point. Duchesne couldn't hold it in. It's taken to center by Kerr, and now picked up by the Kings, Luc Robitaille. 12 seconds to go in the power play. Robitaille, left wing, into the Islander zone. Feeds it up the middle to Hardy. In front, he shoots. Saved by Billy Smith. He made a leg save, and the Islanders clear it, and that'll kill the penalty.
Excellent save by Smith. It looked like he went down a bit too soon and was in an awkward position, but he just got that left leg out.
Now up to center ice. Robitaille with it. Islanders back at full strength. Puck taken away. Here's Brent Sutter across the King line. Sutter's pass to Flatley. He's checked there, and the puck taken away by the Kings. Jimmy Carson. Carson to center. Carson trying to give it to Kudelski. He cut the wrong way. Islanders with it. Greg Gilbert shooting from the left side. It's high and off the glass. Puck comes to Brent Sutter, but he couldn't hold it in. Back out to center ice with 16:30 to go in the first period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. Kings and the Islanders. No score, and the Islanders go offside at the King blue line. No score in the first period. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
In 1973, a small bar served the first light beer. The response was unanimous.
Tastes great.
Here was a beer with its own special brewing process.
Less filling.
It's brewed to be light with only the finest quality ingredients.
Tastes great.
It's less filling.
Today there are lots of lights around, but none are brewed like Miller Lite, and none can match the taste.
Tastes great!
For great taste, there's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
No score, 16:27 left first period. Former Islander Bob Bourne, who is beginning his 14th NHL season, out at center ice for the Kings.
Now the Islanders drive it into the King zone, and another King hurt, hit with the puck. Is it Mark Hardy, number 5? He gets hit, and don't know whether he's cut or not, but it's uncanny, the rash of kind of freakish injuries that are occurring, especially the one to Dan Gratton down in San Diego last Saturday night against Team USA. Gratton, standing on the bench, had the blade of a stick hit him above and below the eye, but not on the eye. Broke the blade of the stick, but he's ready to play tonight. McBean got 10 stitches below his eye. He is not ready to play. And Hardy has now been cut when the Islanders fire the puck into the King zone.
And Tom Laidlaw got clipped with a stick on his lower lip. Of course, that only took a couple of stitches, but all the defensemen are getting their share of injuries. Everybody that we mentioned, a defenseman, with the exception of Dan Gratton. Hardy, being helped off, still seems to be in a bit of discomfort. He's going to the Kings bench, which is obviously a better sign than if he went off the ice for further repairs. But Bob Bourne will stay out to take the face-off to the right of goaltender Rolly Melanson. The Kings with a couple of good chances on that power play early.
Bourne against Trottier on the draw. Islanders have the puck. Here's Richard Crom. Throws it off the boards to Trottier. Left side now. Trottier with a King zone. He shoots. It's wide to the right. Rebound to the right point. Held in there by Denis with a drive, and it's wide. Up to Conroy. Left side. He gives it into Trottier. Trottier and Duchesne go for it. Duchesne gets it to Kudelski. Now ahead to Bob Bourne. Bourne up the center. Bourne to the Islander line. Down the right wing. Trying to jump around Conroy. Bourne into the corner, but Crom comes back. He's pushed into the boards by Kudelski. This is the Kings checking line. Bourne at center with Sykes on the left wing and Kudelski on the right. Islanders come back. Pass to Mikko Makela. Right wing poked away. Islanders still with a King zone. Crom up the middle. A backhander deflects off the stick of Denis Potvin toward the net, and it's scooped up by the King goaltender, Rolly Melanson.
Well, Brian Trottier, number 19 of the New York Islanders, out there. And, of course, Trottier has been one of the premier centers in the NHL over the years. Led the Islanders in scoring last season, though it was subpar statistically for Trottier. 23 goals and 87 points. And, of course, for years, Bob, it's been Trottier, Bossy, and for some years it was Gillies when he was with them. Yeah. Bossy's hurt. How will Trottier react? We'll find out this year.
Ad LaFontaine is out there now at center. One of the youngsters there rebuilding this team around. He'll face off in the King zone to the left of goaltender Rolly Melanson. Dan Gratton out at center to take the draw. And the draw won by the Islanders. Here's Denis Potvin with a shot. It's blocked by Duncanson, and on his knees, Redmond, nice pass ahead to McKenna. McKenna, right wing, falls down as he crosses the blue line, but drove it wide of the net to the right side. Now Gratton lost his edge, and the Islanders come back. No score, first period. Up to center ice now. Into the King zone, Derek King. King checked and knocked down by Kennedy. Kennedy leads it ahead to McKenna. Kings come back 3-on-3. In the middle, here's Gratton. Back to McKenna, right wing. He shoots, it's wide and off the glass. Puck comes out to center ice, and Craig Redmond back to get it. Redmond all the way back to the King blue line. Now flips it back into the Islander zone. Denis Potvin lets it go in deep for Gerald Diddick. 15 minutes to go in the first period. No score in the game. Redmond intercepts at center ice. Circles back into the King zone and gets it over to Kennedy. Now up to rookie Craig Duncanson. Gives pass to Fox of the red line. Fox had it go off his stick. Tipped away and now taken by Duncanson. His pass stolen by LaFontaine. He flips it to the King line. Broken up by Kennedy. On the right wing to Nichols. Into the Islander zone. Nichols looks into the slot. Tried to pass to Fox. It's out of his reach. Taken by New York in their own zone. They're moving left to right as you join us on radio and TV. Up the center ice and down the right wing. Bob Bassen. He's bumped hard by Jay Wells. Hard check by Wells on Bob Bassen. It was a year ago. Bassen got knocked out in the first game between these two teams here. Puck taken by Bassen, left wing side. Bassen in the King zone, loses it to Nichols. Nichols gives it behind the King net to Jay Wells, and we've got a high sticking penalty called against the Kings. High sticking called against Dean Kennedy of the Kings. No score. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Good food is an expression of love, and now you can make food that tastes as if you cooked all day with Sharp's Carousel Convection Microwave. It's not just fast, it's perfect. It turns to cook evenly. It browns beautifully. For people with more love than time, Sharp Microwaves. From sharp minds come sharp products.
Kings' first penalty. Dean Kennedy, defenseman, high sticking at 5:45 as the Islanders were putting on some pretty good pressure. Islanders will go on the power play for the first time tonight.
King penalty killing unit out, and that is another priority of this team. Improve that penalty killing. It was last in the league last year. Here's Potvin at the blue line. He shoots, deflected over the net. Rebound left side, taken by Thomas Johnson. His pass down in deep behind the net to Pat Flatley. Flatley with it there. Flatley into the left wing corner, back to Johnson at the blue line, back to Flatley. Back of the blue line to Thomas Johnson. Right point to Denis Potvin. He gives it to Trache. Up the middle to Johnson. Johnson shooting wide. Rebound to Brent Sutter. Sutter for the Islanders on the power play. Back to the blue line. Thomas Johnson fakes it, gives it to Sutter. Sutter left wing side. His pass to Denis Potvin. He didn't get it, but he holds it in. Takes it off the boards. Now over to Sutter in the slot. Couldn't get a shot. Loose puck. Sykes clears it for the Kings. It was Sykes and Bourne up front, and they're going to change now. Nichols and Carpenter come on.
Good job by the Kings. They prevented the Islanders from getting that puck down low and getting a good percentage chance.
Minute 12 left to go in the Islander power play. Here's Brent Sutter down the right wing. He gives it to Trache. Up the middle, Thomas Johnson tried one more pass, and the Kings take it away. Bobby Carpenter against Denis Potvin. One-on-one. Carpenter shoots, and a save by Billy Smith. A glove save, and he hangs on. Nice shot by Carpenter, Nick, and a fine glove save by Billy Smith.
Well, we mentioned in preseason the play of Bobby Carpenter in training camp, and here in the first period now has just been outstanding. Almost 180 degrees from the 10 or so games we saw him after the Dion trade in March. He's got that jump back. He's involved. He's making things happen. He's shooting. He's getting excellent chances. A couple of years ago, Bobby Carpenter was one of the premier snipers in the National Hockey League, and skating with Nichols and Fox. Hopefully he'll regain that touch. Last year, just an off year, traded twice, 9 goals, 27 points.
Carpenter stays out with Bernie Nichols up front to kill the penalty. Laidlaw and Duchesne back. 53 seconds left in the King penalty to Dean Kennedy. No score first period. We played 7 minutes, 13 left in period number 1. Here's Pat LaFontaine. Pat LaFontaine had 19 power play goals last year to lead this team. He sends it into the King zone, taken away by Bernie Nichols. Nichols to center, can't find an opening, comes back into the King zone, takes his time, now slaps it off the glass into the Islander zone. 30 seconds left to go in the King penalty. No score first period. St. Louis Blues are here at the Forum on Saturday night, and there are tickets available. Forum box office and all Ticketmaster outlets. Here's LaFontaine moving into the King zone. LaFontaine gives it at the left point now. Pass in deep, tipped in front, and taken away as Derek King couldn't get his stick on it, and the Kings clear it again. And it's driven down into the Islander zone.
Good coverage in front by Steve Duchesne. He picked up the Islander down low, rookie Derek King, and King had no chance to get the puck.
Kings are back at full strength. Dean Kennedy out of the penalty box. Islanders come to center. Mikko Makala down the right side. King zone. His shot blocked. Left side taken by Conroy. His shot blocked on the way in. Kings with it. Up to center ice 2-on-2. Here's Carson. Now it's a 3-on-2. Carson, Taylor, and Robitaille. Here's Taylor. Lost the puck as he came to the top of the slot. Islanders take it away. Back to center ice. Derek King, a former #1 draft choice, and he drives it back behind the King net.
Kings had 2 chances in their power play. The Kings shut out the Islanders. New York with no shots on that 2-minute man advantage.
They have no shots in the game. The Kings have outshot them 3-0, and Billy Smith has made a couple of fine saves to keep the Kings off the board. Islanders roll it into the King zone now as it's sent in by Bob Basson. Loose puck left side. Who's got it? It comes to the blue line. Islanders will hold it in. Kenny Morrow, the veteran defenseman, sends it down and deep to Brad Dalgarno, the rookie, in front. He fanned on it. Dalgarno, the big guy, trying to bring it around out in front of the net and fanned on it. Here's Luc Robitaille, NHL Rookie of the Year, across the line. Drops it for Carson. His shot deflected off the glass. Carson right in the slot. Now Taylor wrapped up in the corner, and we've got a penalty to the New York Islanders. 11:09 remaining here in the first period. There's no score between the Kings and the New York Islanders. This game is coming to you live from the fabulous Forum.
Kings Hockey is brought to you by Miller Lite. For great taste, there's only one light beer, Miller Lite. And by Discount Tire Centers for championship performance and unbeatable prices. Discount Tire Centers. We cut prices, not quality.
Bob Basson, a young center, slashing Dave Taylor at 8:51, and the Kings go on the power play. Kings 0 for 1 tonight with the man advantage. The power play will start up front with Nichols, Carpenter, and Fox. Mike Murphy said on the power play up front, I'm going to go with the 2 top offensive lines. I won't have a special power play unit, at least to start the season. So we'll see the Nichols line. They're out there now. Again, the penalty taken by Basson for high sticking and slashing Dave Taylor.
Face off in the Islanders zone. Bobby Carpenter out to take the draw. He's got Jimmy Fox and Bernie Nichols with him. Off the draw, Carpenter to the left point to Wells. Wells checked there, tries to hold it in. Bozak, the linesman, was in the way. Now Wells and LaFontaine battle for it, and Wells still holds it in. I don't know how he did it. Puck is down the left wing corner, Islanders zone, taken away and cleared out to center ice by Gord Denis.
Of course, the other line Murphy will use, we'll probably see them after this unit gets done if they don't score. Carson, Robitaille, and Taylor.
Mark Hardy back in action for the Kings after being hit by the puck. Kings with it. Nichols, top of the slot. Nichols, Islanders zone on the power play. And we've got 2 penalties here, 1 for each team. I think Carpenter of the Kings is going to go, and the Islander looks like Gord Denis. That was away from the puck.
Carpenter trying to set up in front, and we should mention, Bob, those 2 experimental rules that we saw in preseason did not get voted in for the regular season. One of them was intentionally standing or skating through the goal crease. If you did that and were caught by any of the 3 officials, the face-off was to come outside the attacking blue line. They did not vote that in for the regular season, so we go back to the old rule, which I guess is you might get interference, and of course you cannot pass the puck with your hand. They did not pass that either.
2 minutes each.
Face-off will be to the right of Billy Smith. Kings still with a man advantage for 1:24. It's a 5-on-4 advantage. Here's Jimmy Carson with it. Another member of the all-rookie team. Kings had 3 of them on that team last year. Duchesne, Carson, and Robitaille. Puck is against the boards and going to be taken by Brent Sutter of New York. He comes to center, 2-on-2. Hardy and Duchesne back. Sutter trying to jump around Hardy, and they go offside at the King blue line. No score here in the first period. This is an officially copyrighted broadcast of California sports and the Los Angeles Kings, and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use of the accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Kings is prohibited.
You know, I'm sure, Bob, a lot of fans here tonight and also watching and listening probably drooling over the prospects of what might happen in the years to come with Carson and Robitaille playing together. Mike Murphy, the head coach, said, I'll let them play together as long as they play well defensively, because he knows they can score.
Now the Kings drive it into the Islanders zone. Left wing side in the corner. Dave Taylor checked there. Tries to get help from Jimmy Carson. Kings have 48 seconds remaining in the power play. Puck comes loose. Morrow pokes it ahead and along the boards out to center ice. Hardy back to get it for the Kings. Kings last year had 97 power play goals, the most of any team in the league. Now at center ice, though, they lose it, and Greg Gilbert sends it back behind the King net.
And a big reason the coaches felt for the improved power play last year was the play of Robitaille and Carson, each with 18 power play goals in their rookie year.
Islanders pressuring the Kings now right at center ice and flip it back into the Kings zone. 17 seconds to go in the power play. Here's Luc Robitaille. Robitaille at center ice to Jimmy Carson. Carson cut off in front of the Islander bench, still with it now. Checked from behind by Alan Kerr. Kerr takes it away, and he will clear it back into the King zone, and that'll do it. 2 seconds to go in the penalty, and Bob Basson is up. The door is open. He's out on the ice. No score, first period. Bob Miller along with Nick Nixon here in the forum tonight. Puck driven by the Kings back behind the Islander net. Bob Bourne takes a run at Billy Smith, the goaltender.
That may go back to last year, remember, in New York?
That's right. Back behind the Islander net now, Morrow gets it up on the left wing side to Randy Wood, the rookie. Wood out of Yale University, where he was a teammate of Bob Kudelski of the Kings. Sends it up to center ice. Kings take it away. Bob Bourne down the left side. Bourne in the corner. Gets a shot. Hits the side of the net. Bourne goes behind the net. Morrow takes him out of the play, and the puck is picked up now and cleared out to center by Denis Potvin. Brad Delgarno sends it to the King line. Poked away. Back to center ice. Here's Phil Sykes with it, but the Kings are in a line change. Dan Gratton comes on for the Kings. So does Duncanson. Puck driven down in the King zone, and Rolly Melanson, the goaltender, plays it around the boards. Delgarno takes it away. His centering pass intercepted by Laidlaw. He clears to the center for the Kings. 8:12 to go in the first period. Here's Dan Gratton with it. Gratton's pass to Kennedy into the Islander zone. Over to Duncanson. He shoots, and a blocker save made. Rebound behind the net.
Grattan tried to roll it out in front, intercepted by Pat LaFontaine. He clears it to center. Kennedy with it again. His pass knocked down by LaFontaine, but Kennedy takes it away in the Kings zone. 7:52 to go. First period. No score in the game. Fast-paced first period of the first game of 80 in the regular season. Here's Duncanson behind the Islander net. In front. He couldn't get it to McKenna. McKenna got spun around. Now McKenna's shot blocked. Again, McKenna can't find it. Loose puck. Islanders dig it out of their own zone. Here's Thomas Johnson to center. Hounded from behind by Duncanson. Pass ahead to Derek King. King passing into Alan Kerr, and his shot is wide to the right as he spun in the slot. Puck is poked out to the blue line, but not out by Grattan. Now Derek King with it. Now the puck is cleared by the Kings into the Islanders zone. No score first period. 7:13 to go in period number 1.
And the Kings forwards doing a great job helping out the defensemen. The Islanders have had virtually nothing in the way of offense.
Conroy of the Islanders gives it away to Bourne. Bourne tried to go to Nichols, tipped away, but now taken by Redmond. Redmond's pass to Nichols. Nichols down the left side, Islanders zone. Nichols in deep, left wing corner, drops it for Bourne. Bourne goes into the corner. He's checked there as he tried to get it to Nichols. Conroy holds it against the boards and draws the whistle. 6:49 to go in a scoreless first period. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
I am master of ancient art of karate, kung fu, and the Chinese checker. But the one about the socializing, I always reach for a cold Miller Lite. Light tastes great. Lightless are filling too. Hey, anybody want a pepperoni?
Ancient proverb, only one light beer, Miller Lite.
Good intensity, good emotion by both clubs, as you might expect, as both teams open up their season. The Kings' 21st National Hockey League season. No score. The Kings have outshot the Islanders 4-0. A couple of good power play chances early in the game. The good chances from Nichols and Hardy.
Islanders with it behind their own net. Gord Deneen sends it up ahead now at center ice. Here's Mikko Makela. Fires it into the King zone. Trache digs for it down the right wing corner. Trache spins around. The puck is against the boards. He pushes Nichols. Trache up the middle to Makela. Taken away by Jimmy Fox. Fox to center now with Bobby Carpenter. Big crisscross. Fox to the Islander line. Fox at the left point. Over to Kennedy. Couldn't hold it. And it's cleared by Makela back down into the King zone. We're going to get an icing call here against the New York Islanders. No score first period. 6:14 to go in the period. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. You're watching the cable network of champions, Prime Ticket, where you'll see the Kings and the Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers Sunday night at 7:15. So the faceoff will be in the Islanders zone now to the left of Billy Smith. 6:14 left in the first period with no score. The Islanders have yet to put a shot on Rolly Melanson, the King goaltender. Off the draw on the right side, Taylor trying to bring it into the slot, tipped away from him, and back come the Islanders. Pass to center, intercepted by Steve Duchesne. Duchesne tried to get around Brent Sutter, couldn't do it. Loose puck is cleared to center ice by New York. 5:55 to go in the first period. Here's Taylor, sends it back behind the Islander net. Billy Smith cuts it off there. Gives it up to Greg Gilbert on the left wing. Ahead to center to Brent Sutter. Sutter spins around, and it's taken away by Jimmy Carson. Carson rolls it into the Islanders zone. Intercepted by Potvin. He's the only Sutter left on this team now, Nick. Puck comes all the way down into the King zone, and an icing call against New York as Steve Duchesne goes back to get it. Dwayne Sutter was traded to the Chicago Blackhawks, so that broke up the Sutter brothers. Luc Robitaille, Rookie of the Year. He'll be Nick's guest at the end of this period.
45 goals last season, becoming the first King ever to win the league's Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year. Also selected as the NHL's second-team All-Star left winger. And that's not just rookies, that's everybody. The only other left winger with more votes in the All-Star team was left winger Michel Goulet from Quebec.
Bob Bourne ready on the draw for the Kings in the Islanders zone against Pat LaFontaine. LaFontaine wins the draw. Puck is taken by New York and brought up to center now by Alan Kerr on the right wing. Kerr flips it into the Kings zone. Rebound off the boards, and it's taken there, but not cleared out by Kudelski. Held in. Now Kudelski pokes to the blue line again. Again, the Islanders hold it in. Now Sykes tips it away from Alan Kerr. Here's Bob Kudelski at center ice, and Alan Kerr crunches him into the boards in front of the King bench. No score, first period. Here's Sykes at center ice. He sends it down the right side into the Islander zone, and Thomas Jansson back to get it. Jansson out of Sweden circles his own net with 4:55 to go, first period. Up to Alan Kerr. Kerr to the King line. Stops to the right point. Still with it now. Kerr throws it in deep. It's knocked down by Mark Hardy. Hardy headmans it up the center to Kudelski. He drives one from center ice, and a save made by Billy Smith. Kings have 5 shots on goal. Islanders, no shots yet in the game. Islanders going to be called for icing now. Long pass into the King zone. Kennedy back to touch it. 4:33 left in a scoreless first period. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Kings Hockey is brought to you by Discount Tire Centers. For championship performance and unbeatable prices, Discount Tire Centers. By Great Western's family of companies, over $28 billion in assets. We'll always be there. By Chevrolet. Your Chevy dealers got to make room for the 88, so now's your chance to get low year-end prices on all 87s. It's California clearance time, and you can't afford to miss it at your Southern California Chevrolet dealers. And by Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered draft beer. It's as real as it gets.
Bernie Nichols' line now comes out to take the draw in the Islander zone. Nichols against Trottier. When Bernie broke in 7 years ago, he said, "I can't wait to play against my hero, Brian Trottier." Well, they've been matched out quite a few times the last few years.
Bobby Carpenter back behind the Islander net. Can't get around Steve Conroy. Conroy, formerly with Calgary, clears it out to center ice. It bounces off Dean Kennedy and then Mikko Makela, and is cleared by Craig Redmond to center. Now it comes into the Islander zone. 4:13 left to go. We've gone almost 16 minutes of the first period. The Islanders don't have a shot on the goal yet. Here's Fox ahead to Nichols, and he just misses getting it as he came across the blue line. Some of those passes, Nick, have just been inches away from connecting. Here's Deneen for the Islanders at his own blue line. Now poked up the center by Conroy, and then right back to him. No score, first period. Conroy drives it into the King zone. Taken on the left wing side. Redmond with it. He sends it up to the blue line, right side to Fox with Nichols and Carpenter. 3-on-3. Fox across the line. Fox to Carpenter. Left wing side. He's bumped in the corner. Nichols went flying. Puck is centered and broken up by the Islanders. Sent to center ice now by Diddick to Makela. Makela, right side. Taken out of play. Diddick shooting wide to the left. They still don't have a shot because it comes to center, 2-on-1. Nichols to Duncanson. He shoots. Save. Rebound. Duncanson tried to jam it in. He was in too deep on the left side. That developed into a 2-on-1 with Nichols giving it to the rookie Duncanson on the left wing, and his shot was saved. Then the rebound, he tried to jam in, but he was in too deep. 3:08 left to go, first period. No score. Islanders with it. Diddick to Brad Delgarno, the big guy on the wing, right side, King zone, trying to get around Laidlaw. Delgarno sends it in front, and then it comes wide. Puck is picked up now by Basson. Bob Basson for New York behind the King net. He's checked there. Islanders still not credited with a shot. Here is Delgarno knocked down in the King zone by Laidlaw, and the puck cleared to center ice by Sean McKinnon.
Again, the Kings did not panic when the Islanders tried to put on pressure. Everybody stayed with their man. Little weaving with the puck down low, some drop passes, but the Kings did not panic.
Now the puck comes to the King line. Here is Hardy with it. Hardy gave it to McKenna. Back to Hardy, the red line. His shot hit a skate, deflects into the corner. 2:20 to go in the first period. No score. Kings have outshot the Islanders unofficially 6-0. Puck comes in front of the King bench. Picked up now by Wells. Wells to Robitaille. Robitaille's pass broken up but taken by Taylor. Here's Taylor for the Kings. Passes on the right wing. Nobody there for the Kings. It's picked up now by Greg Gilbert back in his own zone. 18 minutes the Islanders have gone without a shot on goal. Puck comes back down into the King zone. Here's Wells clearing at the center to Taylor. Taylor on the right wing. He's checked by Brent Sutter. Puck is taken by Hardy. His pass stolen by Gord Deneen. Deneen's pass to the King line, and a good check by Jay Wells as he bumps Pat Flatwood. Puck taken by the Kings. Hardy, he drives it into the Islanders zone. Going to get an icing call here against the Kings as the Islanders get back to touch it. 1:36 remaining in the first period. Say, Nick, we want to send our best wishes tonight to Tony Barnes and his wife, Debbie. Tony is in a coma in South Bay Hospital. He's a big Kings fan. They put headphones on him tonight so he can listen to the game on the radio portion of our simulcast, and we hope he's able to enjoy the game, and certainly we wish Tony a very speedy recovery.
Kings had an opportunity, a 2-on-1. Nichols to Craig Duncanson in the middle of a line change. Duncanson moving in, taking the shot, but Smith for about the third or fourth time, comes up with a dandy save, and Duncanson, as you see on the replay on our simulcast, was actually behind the goal line as he tried to jam in the rebound.
No shots for the Islanders yet in the first period. We've got 1:36 remaining. Off the draw in the King zone. Loose puck is battled for in the right point. Now Denis of New York held it in. Now it's taken by Alan Kerr. He sends it into the slot. Here's a penalty coming up to Steve Duchesne. Duchesne knocked down Pat LaFontaine right in the slot, and Steve Duchesne is going to go to the penalty box, and with 1:22 remaining, going to have a power play for the Islanders.
Well, right in front of the Kings net, Duchesne, and of course Duchesne is just arguing that LaFontaine just fell on his stick blade, stepped on it and fell down. Duchesne couldn't believe it, but Duchesne goes to the penalty box at 18:38, so now the Kings in jeopardy of giving up their first shot again tonight. Duchesne for tripping at 18:38. The Kings have gone a whole period without allowing a shot. You go back to April 5th, 1978 at St. Louis. Kings penalty killing last, 21st last season, 73.7%. Islanders second in the NHL, tied with the Kings in power play efficiency.
Denis Potvin with a shot, and there's the first one of the period. Save made off the stick of Melanson. First shot for the Islanders, and it came with just over a minute remaining in the first period, and now Bob Bourne clears the puck down into the New York zone. No score here in the first period. Bob Miller along with Nick Nixon, game 1 of the season. We have 1 minute left to go in the first period. Islanders moving left to right. They've got the man advantage, and Denis Potvin drives it into the King zone. Comes around the left wing side. Pass back to the left point to Thomas Johnson. Right side, Denis Potvin. He shoots. It's deflected off a skate, taken by the Kings, and cleared by Tom Laidlaw back into the Islander zone. Chased down by Denis Potvin. He has announced that this is his final year, his 15th and last year in the NHL. Thomas Johnson for New York. Sends it down in the King zone. Bobby Carpenter slaps it off the boards. Can he clear it? No. Potvin holds it in right point to Sutter. Sutter's pass up the middle to the blue line, held in there. Pass in deep now on the left side. Shot by Trache, save. Rebound Delgarno. 18 seconds up to go in the period. Or excuse me, Flatley with it. Flatley, right wing side. The puck comes loose and is cleared this time. Down into the Islanders zone with 8 seconds remaining in the first period. Islanders credited with 2 shots now. Puck is taken by Brent Sutter. 1 second to go in the period, and that's it. A fast-paced first period here in game number 1 as King goaltender Rolly Melanson didn't have much work in that period. Islanders credited with only 2 shots on goal. The Kings had 6 shots. There was no scoring in the first period. So we are scoreless at the end of 1, and in just a couple of moments, Nick Nixon will be talking with the NHL Rookie of the Year from last season, the first King ever named Rookie of the Year in the NHL, Luc Robitaille.
As the NFL strike continues, the Rams prepare for a week of uncertainty with a team of irregulars. Find out what's happening inside the Rams camp during these strike days. Join us for Rams Report, exclusively here on the Prime Ticket Network.
Play by Pinckney. Now the ball to Humphries, over to Davis. Davis is 21-foot jumper. No, another fine rebound by Green. That gives him 5 in the game. To Magic, a 360 turn with the dribble. Magic down the middle. Gives underneath to Worthy. Slammed up. Back to Dumar. Good pass. He's down the middle. The ball stolen by Worthy. He gives the ball to Coop. Back to Worthy. He'll ride it all the way under. Lay it up and in. And look at that power. Underneath, the ball slipped out of his hands. Hit the front of the rim. To Rambis. To Magic. Right side to Worthy. All the way. Score.
The 1987 Michelin Challenge Tennis Series returns with a wallop as John McEnroe comes back to the Forum to meet the world's 5th-ranked player, Miloslav Machir. See it live Monday night at 6 right here on the Prime Ticket Network.
From out of the blue, Beretta by Chevrolet. The introductory price as low as $99.42. Its aerodynamic design, its sculptured look, the contoured shape, the Beretta speaks for itself. You want styling? Your Chevy dealer's not handing you the same old lines. Don't buy a sport coupe without seeing the new Beretta at your Southern California Chevrolet dealer.
Catch all the excitement with King's Season Seats.
Back here at the fabulous Forum, the Kings and the New York Islanders opening up the 87-88 season. We have no score. And last year, the fans in Southern California witnessed one of the great rookie years in NHL history. Left winger Luc Robitaille with 45 goals for the Los Angeles Kings. And Luc is joining us for a few moments. Luc, you had 45 goals. You led the team. You led the team in points with 84. You win the Rookie of the Year award. You're the second-team All-Star left winger. What are you going to do this year for an encore?
We're going to win. We're going to play on a winning team this year, and I think we're going to have a better year as a team, and if we do that, that means I have a better year.
Enthusiasm, it's really there this year. Mike Murphy said he hasn't seen a team this enthusiastic since maybe 80-81.
Well, I haven't seen the other teams. I wasn't there, but I know this year, the difference between last year and this year is that the guy believed that we can win, and we know we can win. And when we win, instead of saying, all right, you know, we won and we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, the guys are saying, you know, we were supposed to win. We got to win, and that's a lot of fun. And they just say, let's forget it, and we got to win tomorrow. So it's a big difference, and it's fun.
When you were drafted, you went back to juniors after a couple of training camps. You worked on your skating. You had the great rookie year last year, but you continued to work on your skating in the offseason, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I'm going to still have to go again. Another time, maybe. No, yeah, I went back this year. I think, you know, I can improve for maybe a few more years. You know, if I maybe just go to know what I'm doing wrong. You know, sometimes you get hurt during a season and you just go, you know, in the wrong way on your skating trying to help your injuries. So I went back and she really helped me again, and I hope this year it's going to show.
I'm sure Kings fans have visions of you and Jimmy Carson skating together for years to come, scoring a lot of goals. Any similarities playing with Carson? You've been together since the beginning of training camp, and Marcel Dion, whom you skated with most of last year.
Yeah, it's a little different. Marcel was, you know, he was a good playmaker and he was quick. Well, I can say Jimmy is the same thing. You know, he can shoot well, he handled the puck, and we get along real well because we talk a lot on the ice and off the ice, and I think it's going to be a big plus for us. And it was the same with when I was playing with Marcel. I like playing with Jimmy. He's a great player, and with Dave Taylor too.
First period, very few shots against. Rolly Melanson had an easy period. I was impressed with the way you guys were back-checking.
Well, thank you. We got to do that the whole year, and that's what we're going to try to do. Just keep one high man in their zone, and the chances are going to come, I'm sure. Maybe in the second. If it's not, I'll be in the third. But we only need one more goal than them to win, and that's what we're going to try to do.
Luc Robitaille, 45 goals last year. The NHL's Rookie of the Year has been our guest. Well, we probably won't see him in a brawl too often. We hope not. The NHL has some new rules to prevent bench-clearing brawls. A 10-game suspension for the first player off the bench during a brawl. 5 games for the second player off the bench. The coach of the first player off the bench gets a 5-game suspension and a $1,000 fine. It goes on. The coach of the second player gets a 3-game suspension and a $1,000 fine. The teams in the bench-clearing brawl each will be fined $10,000, and each player involved, the maximum fine, $500. And a team caught paying the fine or salary of a suspended player gets an additional $10,000 fine. I don't think we're going to see too many of those brawls this year. Well played first period. We're scoreless at the end of one. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
And he's over for the touchdown. And fans, you can score a touchdown too during Discount Tire Center's Michelin Fall Kickoff Sale with outrageously low prices. When you buy Michelin's price as low as $26.95, we'll give you 2 free tickets to the UCLA-Washington game November 14th. Michelin's as low as $26.95 and free UCLA tickets. You can't get a better deal. Don't delay though, tickets are limited. Hurry to the Discount Tire Center nearest you, and remember, we cut prices, not quality.
Hey, I've got some really good news for you. Now you can get the credit that you deserve with your Southern California Chevrolet dealers GMAC First-Time New Car Buyers Program. And what that means is that you can now buy a 1987 Chevy car, truck, or van, even if you have no credit history. All you need are a driver's license, social security number, verified residence, and reasonable income. I want you to see your Southern California Chevrolet dealer because he's giving you the credit that you deserve.
On a clear day, you can see Mount Shasta 100 miles away. Sure Sure makes everything else look mighty small. Kind of like Great Western Bank, big and strong. That's why your money is so safe there. You see, nowadays, the Great Western family of companies stands for over $28 billion in assets and the security of federal insurance. They've been keeping folks' money safe for 100 years now. So you know Great Western's going to be there for a long time to come. For sheer size and strength, it sure stands out.
On opening night at the Forum, at the end of the first 20 minutes of play, the New York Islanders and the Los Angeles Kings locked in a scoreless tie. Don't forget, fans, that we want you to get involved in our Ask a King segment, so be sure to send in your postcards with your question for any member of the Kings organization. Send them to Ask a King, 401 South Prairie, Inglewood, California, 90301. Be sure to have your name and address and the question and who you want that question intended for. Now, although his original hockey roots are not in Los Angeles, Mike Murphy's been with the Kings for so long, it's hard to imagine him anywhere else. And as he embarks on his first season tonight, full season, he's exactly where he wanted to be.
I would like to be a head coach, but I'm not jumping or chomping at the bit to get there. I think that it will resolve itself in time, and if I continue to work at my profession and continue to do my job as best I can, that I'll be well prepared when the time does come.
Well, I think that the time came, and it was kind of an extraordinary set of circumstances that led to the opportunity for me to coach the Kings. I think sometimes when you're in the coaching profession, it's you acquire that position by a peculiar series of events, and that's exactly what happened with myself. I was a fortunate man to be in the right place at the right time. We went through the unfortunate circumstances of having to lose Pat Quinn last year when he was expelled by John Ziegler. So I was the man on the spot, and again, I was the right guy, the right spot at the right time, and I'm blessed and fortunate to have been that man.
Mike Murphy has been part of the Kings organization since 1972. First as a player, then an assistant coach, and now as head coach.
I dream at night, as I'm sure many of the players do, and the coaching staff, what we would do if we could have the type of success that the Edmonton Oilers or the Philadelphia Flyers have had. My goal is to bring a real championship team to this organization. I think that would be just a tremendous experience, and it'd be a lot of fun. I think that we could turn Los Angeles into 14 million crazy hockey fans. I really think it's a sport that has unlimited boundaries in this area. People think because you can't play it on natural surfaces that you can't be fans, but I think that's really untrue. And I really feel that we can capture the city because it's untapped right now, other than the hardcore 8, 10, 12,000 that we have on a regular basis. I think there's a lot of people out there that if it ever became the sporting event we want it to become, that it would really be the thing to do in LA to show up at a hockey game.
Mike Murphy has his own ideas about how to bring success to Los Angeles.
You can always set up plans where somewhere down the line you're going to win. Well, that's been done here since 1967. You know, we've always had a 3-year plan or a 5-year plan or a 2-year plan, and I think that that doesn't hold water right now with the fact we can dress 8 first-round draft picks in our starting lineup. You've got players like Robitaille and Carson and Nichols and Taylor and Fox, Wells and Duchesne, and to name a few. When you've got players like that, you've got to start winning on a regular basis now. Next year it might never arrive. So we feel right now that we have a real good team, that we're a contending team, and that we've got to make an impact in this league right here, right today. Not next week, not next month, right now. And we want our players to approach it that way, that we've waited too long and we've treaded water too long, and there's been too many times when we said next year. Well, I often feel that that's just a backdoor out of the whole situation, and we're going to put a lot of pressure on our team to, whether it be peer pressure and coaching pressure. We don't often get the media pressure that other cities do, but we're going to put a lot of pressure on our team to win every night.
Well, it sounds like Mike Murphy is expecting a lot out of himself and a lot out of his players in this season. And we're watching the opening night tonight. Let's go back to October 8th, 1970, big day in Kings history. That's when they first purchased the young left winger from Montreal by the name of Bob Berry. Went on to 7 great years with the Kings, as well as being a successful coach with not only the Kings, but Montreal and the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Kings and the New York Islanders here tonight are locked in a scoreless tie at the end of the first period of play. Second period is coming up. Stay tuned to Prime Ticket.
Prime Ticket falls into a great month of sports and entertainment in October. The Kings hit the ice for another explosive season of NHL hockey, exclusively on the cable network of champions. College football rolls on with such exciting teams as UCLA, Notre Dame, San Diego State, Long Beach State, and Las Vegas. The Road to Seoul events include women's collegiate volleyball and the very first USA Cup National Men's Competition, plus superlative college water polo action. The Weekly Rams Report continues, and the debut of Ski Scene, a weekly report on the California slopes. Fall into Prime Ticket in October for the very best in regional sports and entertainment excitement.
Every day I'm trying harder. My goal is pleasing you.
When you rent a car from Avis, it comes with a lot of people who want to make sure you're satisfied. Reservation and counter people, mechanics, managers and maintenance people. They're Avis. You may not always see them, but they're there. Rent a Cadillac Seville from Avis for only $45 a day.
It's real. I know it's real. No other reason for the way I feel. Oh yeah. It's as real as it
Toby, how you doing? How's everything?
feels good. So right.
The best things are the real things. And draft beer is the real beer. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
It's as real as it gets.
Phil Meir, Kings assistant coach, is with us as we are moments away from the start of the second period. Phil, you've got to be happy with that first period, even though it's scoreless. Kings certainly are concentrating on defense, aren't they?
Yes, Bob, we're very happy with our performance in this period. We count chances to score, and we outchanced them 3-0 in this period. And one thing the fans can keep in mind is our third man, or our first forward back in our zone, is very disciplined. We call him the third man because he's 2 defensemen and a forward. He's been very disciplined in coming back and picking up dangerous players.
Phil Meir, Kings assistant coach, as we get set to start the second period.
Scoreless again, the shots few and far between. The Kings had 6 of the 8 face-offs. Islanders win 6, the Kings 9. Each team with 3 minor penalties, 6 minutes. And on the power play, the Islanders 0 for 1 and the Kings 0 for 2. Steve Duchesne in the penalty box, still serving his tripping penalty, assessed at 18:38 of the first period. And Bob, if it wasn't for that penalty late in the period to Duchesne, the Kings may have shut down the Islanders with no shots in period number 1, because they didn't have any until they got that power play.
All right, we get set with period number 2 now. The Kings will be moving from left to right. This is the 71st season of the National Hockey League. The first game was played December 19th, 1917. And do you know, Nick, Toronto had the only arena in 1917 with artificial ice. Come a long way since the 71st year of hockey in the NHL. Puck rolls down into the Islanders zone, and back to get it, Denis Potvin. He starts out of his own zone, no score. Second period just underway. 27 seconds up to go on the Islander power play. Here's Thomas Johnson to Brian Trottier. Trottier in the Kings zone. Trottier down in deep in the left wing corner. He's cut off there by Hardy. Gets it back to Thomas Johnson.
Janssen at the left point. His pass to Pat Flatley. Back to Janssen. Over on the right side of Denis Potvin. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Thomas Janssen over to Flatley. Pass on the right side now to Brent Sutter. He drives it over to Flatley. Flatley to Trottier. Now behind the net. Flatley with it again. Kings are back at full strength. Flatley, right wing side to the blue line to Denis Potvin. He shoots and a save. Knocked down the way and backhander. Just hit wide. Taken behind the net by Brent Sutter. He throws it out to the right point and out to center ice before Denis Potvin could get there. Potvin with it again. Kings are back at full strength. Potvin throws it down into the Kings zone, and back to get it is Mark Hardy. Hardy coming up to center. Passes on the right wing to Jimmy Fox. Fox across the red line. Fox moves it there. They got a man breaking. Here's Pat LaFontaine, right side. He shoots. Save, Larson. Rebound. LaFontaine got knocked down again. Now save again. Score on the rebound. A diving save by Melanson, but again the rebound came to Pat LaFontaine, and he flipped it up over the King goaltender into the net. Melanson made 2 great saves, but couldn't stop the third shot, and the Islanders lead 1-0.
Well, you talk about second, third, and fourth effort. He gets stopped. LaFontaine tries to jam it in, then tries to bring it around the long side, and then on the fourth opportunity, he chips it in up high. The Kings just could not contain LaFontaine. When you give a forward like LaFontaine, one of the top offensive players for the Islanders, 4 cracks in a row, chances are he's going to beat you with one of them.
So it's an unassisted goal as LaFontaine stole it. Now here he comes again, right side, trying to get around Kennedy. Kennedy knocks him down, and a penalty for holding to Dean Kennedy. So the Kings, Nick, early have gotten caught twice now on passes. And Pat LaFontaine both times going in with good opportunities to score. 1-0 Islanders. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
It's real. I know it's real. No other reason for the way I feel. Oh yeah. It's as real as it gets. It feels good. So right.
The best things are the real things. And draft beer is the real beer. Miller Genuine Draft.
Oh yeah. It's as real as it gets.
Pat LaFontaine opens the scoring for the Islanders. An unassisted goal in the penalty box for holding LaFontaine. Dean Kennedy. Penalty at 125.
Islanders with it again, right point. A pass into the slot by Didick, broken up and cleared to center to Bobby Carpenter. Carpenter down the right side, cutting in. He shoots. Saved by Billy Smith, and Carpenter falls into him, knocks him flat. Smith has lost his stick. Here's Hardy shooting. He scores! Short-handed goal. Bobby Carpenter cut for the net around Gerald Didick. He ran into the goaltender Smith. Smith took his time getting up. He just laid flat on his back, lost his stick. Carpenter gave it to Hardy. Hardy had a wide open net, and he ties the game at 1-1.
Great effort by Bobby Carpenter, Bob, because Derek King, the big left winger, the rookie left winger, had the puck with time behind his own net, and Carpenter just picked his pocket, and Smith was still slow in getting up because of colliding with Carpenter, and Carpenter looked for someone rushing into the slot. It was Hardy, and Hardy, as you said, had a gimme. Hardy from Carpenter at 143.
I don't know if Smith was trying to draw a penalty or what he was doing, Nick. I thought for a moment he was shaken up. He just stayed on his back in the crease, then got up, and it was too late. Here's Didick for the Islanders. Right side, his shot blocked. Up the middle, Conroy with it. He shoots through traffic. It's deflected wide. Taken by Mikko Makela. Game tied 1-1. Makela against the left wing side. Now down in the corner. He gives it to LaFontaine. Back to Conroy. Right side. Shot by Didick. Deflected. Out to Conroy with a drive. Deflected again. Looks like a ping pong ball. And the Kings' Bobby Carpenter clears it into the Islanders zone.
Well, maybe that's a good sign, Bob. The first goal of the year for the Kings comes shorthanded.
1 minute or now 55 seconds left to go in the King penalty. Puck comes up to center ice. Chased down by Denis Potvin. Now back to Thomas Janssen. We had mentioned that Carpenter was just flying this year at training camp. That Team USA camp and the Canada Cup seemed to really help him. Kings take it away at their own blue line. Phil Sykes to center. Pulled down by Denis Potvin. No penalty. Here's Bourne with it. Bourne down the left side. Can't get around Trottier. Trottier. Trottier takes ball in the corner. Sykes is there for the Kings. He's bumped by Denis Potvin. Puck comes loose. Islanders come to center, 3-on-3. Thomas Johnson, the King line, brings it across the line, but he held up too much, and it put Brent Sutter offside on the right wing. Brent Sutter, the new captain of this Islander team.
Number 21, of course, his brother Dwayne was traded about a month ago to the Chicago Blackhawks. As we mentioned earlier, team's fourth leading scorer last season was Brent, despite missing 11 games with injuries. Team leader in plus-minus, a plus 23 at center ice. Brent Sutter. Brent Sutter, Trottier, and LaFontaine give the Islanders 3 highly quality center icemen. Throw in Mikko Makela, Bob, with Bossy out for virtually the entire season. That was it last year offensively for the Islanders, so a lot of pressure on some of these young left and right wingers on the Islanders to pick up some of the scoring slack.
Islanders with it with 8 seconds to go in the power play. Game tied 1-1 second period. Here's Denis Potvin across the line, drops it to Trottier. Trottier tried to give it in front in the slot, took flatly and went off his stick. Thomas Johnson with it. Kings back at full strength. Shot by Trottier and a save by Melanson. Puck comes to Grattan. Ahead to Kudelski at center. One man back. It's Thomas Johnson. Kudelski cutting for the net. He shoots and he went into the net, but the puck went wide. Kudelski wound up in the net, but the puck just missed the right goal post. Still tied 1-1. Kings are really driving for the net, Nick. It led to the first goal and almost led to another one there. Here is Laidlaw ahead to center for the Kings to Duncanson. Duncanson across the line, shoots, and it's just wide to the right. Rebound off the boards, taken by the Islanders back in their own zone. Here's Bob Bassett. 1-1 tied, 15:53 to go, second period. Puck comes into the Kings zone behind the net. Here's Jimmy Carson with it there. Bumped by Bassett. Loose puck, rolls up the middle. Kings with it. They come to center 2-on-2. Duncanson and Taylor. They crisscross. Pass by Duncanson to Taylor. Broken up and held in by Carson. He shoots wide. Rebound off the boards. Islanders with it. Fast-paced action continues here in the second period. Down the left side, Randy Wood. Pass in the right wing. Shot by Delgarno. And a save in the pads of Rory Melanson. Back from the Kings to center. Here's Carson. He's at center ice. Still has it into the Islanders zone. Carson top of the slot. His pass. Penalty coming up. Robitaille got pulled down by Bob Bassett. Penalty to the Islanders. Kings will go on the power play, and we'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Look at the lines of the new Chevrolet Beretta. They're sleek and rounded. Compared to Honda Prelude, Beretta is lower and more aerodynamic. And look at Beretta's longer wheelbase next to the Nissan 200 SX. And these imports are priced hundreds more. Chevrolet Beretta cuts through with a price as low as $99.42. You want styling? Your Chevy dealer's not handing you the same old lines. Don't buy a sports coupe without seeing the new Beretta at your Southern California Chevrolet dealers.
Carson trying to set up Robitaille, but Bob Bassett, number 28 of the Islanders, tripped up Robitaille as he tried to pick up the drop pass. And right before that, Bob Kudelski one-on-one off the left wing boards. A right shot tried to cut in around Janssen. Moved in, was upended. The puck chipped over Billy Smith. Kudelski in the net. The puck just goes wide to the right.
Boy, I thought that was going to go in, Nick, from our angle. I thought it might just come inside the post. Kings with it. Here's Wells at the left point. Over the left side to Fox on the power play. Kings trying to take the lead for the first time tonight. To Wells at the blue line. He waits. He gives it to Fox. Left side. He shoots. Save made by Billy Smith. Rebound into the corner. Batted, but picked up by Jimmy Fox. It was batted by Gerald Diddick of New York. Into Nichols. Nichols, left side in the corner. To the blue line to Wells. Holds it right on the line. Drives it in deep to Nichols. Nichols walks in front. He shoots. Saved by Smith, and he covers up before Fox can get to the rebound.
Well, you could tell that's what the Kings were trying to do, work the puck down low to either Bernie Nichols or Bobby Carpenter on the near side. And finally, Nichols had some room, and he walked out from right behind the net. And as he tried to reach around and get a shot, Smith just fell to his left side and made the save as he stacked his pads. Billy Smith now with 10 saves tonight. The goals 29 seconds apart early here in the second. LaFontaine and Mark Hardy. Hardy's goal shorthanded.
Nick, the Islanders, with only 2 shots in the first period, had 6 shots in the first minute and 14 seconds here in the second period.
Well, 4 of those were LaFontaine's.
Now the Kings with it on the power play at the blue line. Here is Hardy, right side Duchesne, shooting, and a stick save by Billy Smith. Rebound bounces over the net and right back into the slot. Islanders with it. Nice pass ahead by Kerr. Penalty to the Kings. here driving down the right side, and pass is broken up. The pass by Randy Wood, but behind the play, I think they got Duchesne for hooking Alan Kerr. 1-1 tie. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
And he's over for the touchdown. And fans, you can score a touchdown too during Discount Tire Center's Michelin Fall Kickoff Sale with outrageously low prices. When you buy Michelin's price as low as $26.95, we'll give you 2 free tickets to the UCLA-Washington game November 14th. Michelin's as low as $26.95 and free UCLA tickets. You can't get a better deal. Don't delay though, tickets are limited. Hurry to the Discount Tire Center nearest you, and remember, we cut prices, not quality.
Steve Duchesne for hooking Kerr. Duchesne tried to keep the puck in at the Islander blue line. He gambled and lost. The Islanders were breaking out, and Duchesne goes to the box at 5:33. Both clubs shy a skater for 1:12.
Face off in the Kings zone. Left point. Shot by Conroy. Deflects in deep to LaFontaine. He brought it around in front, trying to jam it in. Nothing doing. Kings come back 3-on-2. Up to center ice. Here's Taylor. Taylor across the line. Gives it to Wells to the right side. Wells back to Taylor. He's got Carson in front. Taylor goes behind the net. He barrels his way there. He battles. Still had the puck come off his stick now as Carson comes in to get it. Gives it to Taylor. Taylor behind the Islander net. Taylor around in front. He shoots. Save. And the puck flying right in front of the crease, and a penalty to New York. Thomas Johnson for knocking Taylor down. And now the Kings, Nick, going to have a 4-on-3 advantage here.
Well, great second effort by Carson and Taylor doing the work behind the net. Taylor, veteran of 11 seasons, worked it out as Janssen then pushed him from behind, knocked him to the ice after Taylor's backhander was stopped by Billy Smith, who had lost his goal stick. I didn't catch that when it actually happened, but you see Taylor, 18, maybe helping the call by diving, but he was dumped to the ice, and it's a 4-on-3 skating advantage for 43 seconds.
Kings are home Saturday night. The St. Louis Blues will be here Sunday night. Wayne Gretzky and the Edmonton Oilers will be here. Tickets for both those games available at the Forum box office, open every day, and all Ticketmaster outlets. Sunday night, the first 10,000 fans will receive a Kings media guide courtesy of Toyota. That's Sunday night. Face-off will be at the top of the face-off circle to the left of Billy Smith. Bobby Carpenter wins the draw at the right point. Here's Jimmy Fox with it. Kings with a 4-on-3 advantage. Into Nichols, right wing corner, back to Carpenter. Carpenter, Islanders zone. Carpenter comes to the blue line. He waits there. He passes over to Nichols, right side, over to the left to Wells. Wells had to lunge to his left to hold it in. Wells still with it. Into Fox, left wing corner. Only 3 Islander skaters. Up to Wells. Off his skate, taken by Carpenter. His pass deflected right back to him. Carpenter in the slot. Left side, he shoots. Saved by Billy Smith. Rebound over the line. Wells shoots. Deflected wide. Rebound off the boards. Carpenter with it again. 7 seconds ago in the Kings 4-on-3 advantage. Here's Nichols with it. Nichols right side. 2 seconds ago in the 4-on-3 advantage. Nichols in deep. Nichols behind the net. Islanders get a man back. Now pass to Bobby Carpenter at the blue line, but it comes off the boards out to center ice. Each team is a man shy now for 39 seconds. Now at center ice, here's Wells. Wells knocked down there by Bob Basson. The puck taken by Kenny Morrow. Morrow's pass into the Kings zone, comes behind the net. Kings, Nick, just had a little trouble finding the handle on about 2 of those passes. They get an icing call here against New York. 12:51 to go in the second period. 1-1 the score.
And of course, with a 4-on-3 skating advantage, you like to get some movement and get that puck in an excellent high percentage shooting area, and the Kings never really did that, and finally they had to rely on just a solo effort by Bobby Carpenter from the right point as he took advantage of a crazily bouncing puck to work it in down in front of Billy Smith. Then we had traffic in front.
Nick, we had a moment of silence tonight before the game for Don Mary, a good friend who covered the Kings for the Los Angeles Times and Long Beach Press Telegram. He was a friend of ours, a companion on the road, and we certainly send our sympathies to his family, as we do to the family of season seat ticket holder Kurt Fondell of Studio City. He passed away this summer, and our condolences to his daughter Joan. Face off in the Islander zone. Here's Redmond with it. His shot, save. It came through some traffic. Robitaille was right in front trying to deflect it. Billy Smith with a save, and Conroy knocks Carson down and takes over. In 12 seconds, the Kings are going to have another short power play. Puck driven into the Kings zone. Melanson plays it over to Craig Redmond. Game tied 1-1. Redmond to Carson. They couldn't clear it out. Now it comes off Redmond's stick. Islanders hold it in. Brent Sutter down the left side. Sutter checked by Redmond. Sutter one-hands it up the middle. Intercepted by Duchesne. Kings are on the power play. Here's a pass to Robitaille. Robitaille down the left side. Into the Islanders zone. Gives it in the slot to Redmond. Left side. In front. Redmond brought in too deep on the left side. Then couldn't get a shot. Redmond with it again. He gives it to Carson. Left wing side. Carson on the power play. His shot deflected wide. Taken in behind the net by Redmond. He tried to pass out in front. Tipped away. Islanders are going to be back at full strength right now. Kings have to watch out for the man coming out of the penalty box. They do. Hardy gets back to center ice to take it. 1-1 tie and a two-line pass as Hardy passes up to center ice to Jimmy Carson. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Man, I love baseball. Yeah, sure goes great with the national pastime.
Come on, to show you how a good time goes. We're going to a place where they talk Strohs. 'Cause a good time's better with a good time beer. And Strohs is spoken here.
Strohs, fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste. Now you're talking beer.
A good time's better with a good time beer. And Strohs is spoken here.
Islanders and the Kings tied at 1 with 11:51 left in the second period. LaFontaine and Mark Hardy trading goals 29 seconds apart early on here in the second.
Face-off just inside the King blue line. Bob Basson wins the draw. Puck comes to center ice to Kenny Morrow. He drives it down into the King zone. Rolly Melanson stops it there. Duchesne had it. He left it behind the net for Laidlaw. Now around on the right side to Kudelski. Can he clear it? Yes, he does. Out to center ice, but it's knocked out of the air with a high stick. Nick, we want to say hi to Carlos Aguilera and Jose Orendian and the entire Charlie and Bravo company. They're watching tonight in Schofield Barracks, Hawaii.
Bob Kudelski, King's choice, the 1986 supplemental draft of college players. 4 years at Yale University, an American, born in Springfield, Massachusetts. Played predominantly at center in his 4 years at Yale. Moved to right wing, but he said when he was in high school he played a lot of right wing, so the position is not unusual to Bob Kudelski.
Now the puck taken by Thomas Johnson. He bounces it toward Rolly Melanson. He knocks it down there. Islanders hold it in. Here's Randy Wood. Pass in front. Save made on the shot from the left side by Delgarno. Save made, and Randy Wood with it again. Teammate of Kudelski at Yale comes to the right side, to the right point to Johnson. He couldn't hold it in. Comes out to center ice. 11:09 left to go, second period, and the Islanders go offside at the King blue line. The game is tied at 1-1.
Randy Wood, a left winger, as you mentioned, a teammate for 3 of Kudelski's 4 years at Yale. Appeared in only 6 regular season games last year, but appeared in just about every playoff game for the Islanders. 13 of them as the Islanders and Washington Capitals. Bob, you go back Easter Eve, one of the greatest games I've ever seen. 4 overtimes before Pat LaFontaine scored. What was it, about 1 o'clock back east?
Yeah, 68 minutes and 47 seconds into overtime. They played 1 full game, played another full game, and 8 minutes and 47 seconds into a third game before they finally won it. And the Islanders in that series were down 3-1 and came back to win it, and then lost to Philadelphia 4-3 in the next series.
Right winger veteran Jimmy Fox, 27 years old, begins his 8th season with the Kings. Second pick in the first round back in '80, playing in his 500th career game tonight. Rebounded last season after an injury plagued '85-'86 when he played in only 39 games. Jimmy Fox, and what a tough second half he had last year. He had some great offensive chances. Seemed like every night he'd hit the post or have a goal disallowed.
Never forget that night in Quebec. He put one right in the middle and hit that iron and came out, and nobody saw it except Jimmy. Stood down there, pounding his stick on the ice while the Quebec Nordiques came back the other way.
Fortunately, Quebec didn't come back and score because he stood down there, remember, with his hands on his hip, as if to say, what do I have to do?
Kings with it. Islanders zone. Nichols in the slot. Goes to the left side, but he can't get around the Islander defenseman, Gord Denis. Now the Islanders drive it into the King zone. Trache fires it in deep. Kings back to get it. Here's Fox. He's bumped against the boards. He gets it to Nichols. Now to Fox. Now out to center ice. Taken away by Conroy. 10:32 to go, second period. Bob Miller and Nick Nixon, and the Kings and the Islanders tied 1-1. Trache takes it away from Hardy. Pass in the middle. Shot wide by Makela. Makela was standing right in the slot, and he got a very good shot. Kings come back 3-on-2. Fox gives it to Carpenter. Left side. He shoots. It's deflected up into the crowd.
Well, a good play at the other end by former All-Star Brian Trottier. Got in position, got in there quickly, and Hardy trying to pass it past Trottier. Hit Trottier in the midsection. He knocked it down in a bang-bang play right in front with Mikko Makela. Talked to Terry Simpson, the Islanders head coach. With the absence of Mike Bossy, Trottier's longtime right winger, he said he's going to try Mikko Makela from Sweden on the right side. Makela had an excellent rookie year last year. And Makela will get an opportunity to play with Trottier this year. Makela, 24 goals and 57 assists. I said Sweden, he's from Finland.
Game tied 1-1. LaFontaine unassisted for the Islanders. Hardy with a shorthanded goal from Bobby Carpenter for the Kings. We have 10:15 to go in the second period. On the draw to the right of Billy Smith. It's taken by the Islanders in their own zone. Denis Potvin, nice lead pass to center ice. And Derek King tried to throw it back in front of his own bench. It's broken up there by Dean Kennedy. Now at the red line, it's taken by Craig Redmond. Redmond banks it off the boards. Potvin takes it away for the Islanders in his own zone. Clears it to center. And if the Kings get back, they won't. It was going to be icing, but the Islanders come back. Pass on the left side and a shot wide. Now behind the net, Alan Kerr with it. Kerr tries to pass in front and underneath the stick there of Derek King.
Miscommunication between Kennedy and Redmond, and that's why the Islanders put on some pressure.
Now the Islanders at center. Here's Derek King again. Flips it into the Kings zone. Redmond back to get it. His pass up to Robitaille at the blue line. Now to Jimmy Carson. Carson down the right side into the Islanders zone. He's checked there by Diddick. Loose puck cleared to center. Islanders with it again. They got a 2-on-1. Here's Derek King with Kerr. King shoots, deflected up off the glass. Puck comes out to center ice to Taylor. Taylor to Robitaille left wing. A penalty to the Kings though. Somebody got tripped. Was it Bourne that tripped Tomas Janssen?
Yeah, Janssen went down.
And a penalty coming up. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Kings Hockey is brought to you by Chevrolet. Your Chevy dealers got to make room for the 88, so now's your chance to get low year-end prices on all 87s. It's California clearance time, and you can't afford to miss it at your Southern California Chevrolet dealers. By Great Western's family of companies, over $28 billion in assets will always be there. By Avis, who invites you to go in style with a new Cadillac or similar luxury car for only $45 a day. Remember, your other car is an Avis. And by Stroh's and Stroh-Lite. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is...
Bob Bourne, an Islander from 74-75 through 1986. He was picked up in the waiver draft a year ago by the Kings. He tripped Janssen right at the Islander blue line as the Kings looked like they might have had a 3-on-2 or a 3-on-1. Bourne didn't like the call. Bourne and Janssen had some words. So Bourne goes to the box at 10:47 here in the second period with a game tied at 1.
Nick, the family of Kings fans keeps growing. We welcome the newest Kings fan, Donnie Porter, born September 2nd. 1987. Now Pat LaFontaine went over to the bench to get a new stick. He's coming back out now, and now a little ice repair. I think maybe somebody threw something out onto the ice, and the linesman Ryan Bozak goes over. It's down in the face-off circle to the left of goaltender Billy Smith. Somebody threw something out on the ice, and the Kings trying to clear that up now.
You know, Bob, it's going to be interesting to see how Robitaille and Carson react here in their sophomore seasons. We have an ice cream sandwich, it looks like, or part of it on the ice. But they had great rookie seasons last year, and obviously they're going to get a lot of attention this year. And I noticed out there in the first period, the Islanders are bumping those two players whenever they get the opportunity.
Got a Kings fan, Gail Preston, in the hospital. She's a season seat holder in section 27. She's in Monrovia. And Gail, we hope you're going to get out of there and get back here in a hurry. All your friends in section 27 wish you a speedy recovery.
Islanders have the all-time series against the Kings, 7 games over 500. Here at the Forum, they're a game under, 10 wins, 11 losses, and 7 ties. And again, the Kings have not won a home opener, which is also a season opener, in the last 6-7 years. 0-3-3 in their last 6 openers.
Now we're ready to go again. Face off outside the blue line of the New York Islanders with a game tied 1-1. Pretty good opening game. Puck comes back into the Islanders zone. Tomas Janssen with it there as he comes around the right side. Islanders with a power play, trying to take the lead for the second time of the game. Here they come in deep to one. Trottier with a shot save. Loose puck in front of Melanson, and a penalty to the Islanders. One of the Kings, I think it was Carpenter, got tripped as he was going for the puck.
Pat flatly disagrees with the call, but you're right, Carpenter looked like he was going to get to the puck at the far circle as Flatley tried to take Carpenter out of the play and allow the Islanders to keep it in at the point. So that nullifies the power play. And for the third time in the period, both clubs will be skating shy of skater. The penalty at 11:08. Melanson makes a great save on Trottier. Traffic in front. You see Carpenter, number 11 of the Kings, reach for the puck, and his left leg is just hauled out from under him by the stick of Patrick Flatley.
So that will put each team shy one man. You know, watching and listening to this game tonight in Canoga Park, the Gutter Goats softball team over there. They got the game on, so we welcome them wherever you're listening and viewing tonight. Hope you're enjoying it. Opening night, game 1 of the season. It's tied 1-1. Here's Nichols in front. He shoots just wide. He didn't get much on it, but it got underneath the fallen goaltender Smith and just went wide to the right goal post. Now up to center ice. Islanders with it. 2-on-2 with a trailer. Janssen sends it left side to Conroy. His shot is wide. Rebound pass in front to Makela, tipped away. Kings with it in their own zone. Each team short a man. Game tied 1-1. Boy, that almost fooled Billy Smith and rolled into the net. Here's Duchesne shooting and a save by Smith. Duchesne right in the slot. Pass comes in deep in the Islander zone and coming around to Thomas Janssen on the right side. Janssen up to center. In 50 seconds, the Kings will have a very short power play. Puck is flipped backhand into the Kings zone, and Jay Wells back to get it. 1-1 tie. Wells passes up the center ice to Taylor. He slides it over to Carson. Carson into the Islanders zone. It's poke checked away from him there and back to center ice to Brent Sutter. Here's Brent Sutter down the left side with Trottier. Sutter in the corner. He's bumped there by Wells. Wells gets spun around. Islanders with it. King zone. Brent Sutter comes to the blue line. His pass knocked down by the Kings' Jimmy Carson to Taylor to Carson. Carson at the red line. Into the Islanders zone. Can't get around Gerald Diddick. And the puck taken by Brian Trottier. Here's Trottier up the center, a great leader on this team in those Stanley Cup years. He sends it in, stick save made by Rolly Melanson. Melanson played on a couple of Stanley Cup championships with this Islander team. Puck rolls down into the Islander zone. Getting back to take it there is Denis Potvin, and he clears it back into the Kings zone with 10 seconds left to go now in the short Kings power play. Here's Sean McKenna circling the King net. McKenna gets around one man. It was Bassett. He comes to center. McKenna down the left side. He's got Bourne with him. Tried to give it to Bourne, but he couldn't get in the slot. Sykes chases it. Puck is cleared out to center ice. Both teams are back at full strength. Here's Redmond. He loses it at center. Puck is taken now by the Islanders' Alan Kerr. Kerr had it poked off the stick back out to center ice by Dean Kennedy. 6:35 to go in the second period. 1-1 tie. LaFontaine for the Islanders and Hardy shorthanded for the Kings. Kings will again. Redmond shoots over the net. A blistering shot picked up by Sykes behind the Islander net. He tried to roll it out in front. He's taken out of the play by Morrow, and the puck is cleared back into the Kings zone. Going to get an icing call on the Islanders here as Redmond goes back to touch it. 6:13 to go here in the second period. Game tied 1-1. This game is coming to you live from the fabulous Forum.
This portion of tonight's Kings hockey game is brought to you by Stroh's and Stroh Light. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is spoken here. And by Avis, who invites you to go in style with a new Cadillac or similar luxury car for only $45 a day. Remember, your other car is an Avis.
We're tied at 1, 6:13 left here in the second period. Dan Gratton out to take the draw. He and Craig Duncanson both in the lineup tonight. First-round draft picks by the Kings back in 1985. The Islanders had 2 first-round picks that year, 1985, and both are in the lineup for them. Derek King and Brad Delgarno.
Danny Gratton out at center for the Kings. He's got Fox with him along with Robitaille. The puck taken by the Kings. Jimmy Fox to Gratton. Now to Fox. Fox Islanders zone. In front. A shot by Duchesne. Deflected up high by Trottier. Now the puck is loose in the corner of the Islanders zone, and Conroy clears it up to center. Islanders come back 3-on-3. Trottier down the right side trying to get around Laidlaw. Pass into the slot. Broken up by Duchesne. Kings come back. They've got a 3-on-2. In the middle, Gratton, his pass tipped away in midair, then sent in front to Fox. Robitaille somehow got it and sent it to Fox on the right side. He couldn't put it in. He shot it wide and then broke his stick, and he had to come back to get another one. Puck taken back in the King zone by Steve Duchesne. Game tied 1-1. Kings trying to bring it to center, and they do at the red line. Gratton's pass broken up. Islanders have it again. Pass to the King line. Duchesne gets it ahead to Taylor. Here's Taylor down the right wing. Islanders zone. Taylor cutting in. Taylor cutting in front. He shoots and falls over Billy Smith with a save made by Smith. Back come the Islanders. 5:08 to go here in the second period. Puck comes to the King line, broken up, sent ahead to Duchesne, but it hit him. He had to go back and get it at the blue line, loses it there, and the Islanders, Pat Flatley shoots it into the King zone. Behind the King net, here's Hardy, and he waits there. Kings have outshot the Islanders 17-13. Game tied 1-1. Here is Jimmy Carson, rolls it ahead to Taylor, tipped away at the Islander line. Pat Flatley with it there. Flatley clears it down into the King zone, and back together is Hardy for the icing call against New York. 1-1 tie with 4:37 to go in the second period. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
You're watching the cable network of champions, Prime Ticket, where you'll see the Kings against the Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers Sunday night at 7:15.
Bernie Nichols out for the Los Angeles Kings. A lot of people feel that the New York Islanders, Bob, without Bossy, are really going to struggle offensively this year. They've got to grind it out and hit and create some activity with some good board work, and they're trying to do that tonight. They've had some good chances, but just misfired on a couple of tight passes.
Kings win the draw. Hardy with a pass in front to Nichols, knocked down by Kenny Morrow. Cleared up to center. Islanders with it. Long lead pass to Derek King, the rookie, down the left side. King checked by Hardy. Hard into the boards to the left of the King net. Hardy lined up Derek King, and he smacked him into the boards. King goes down to one knee, tried to center it. It's tipped away, and Bernie Nichols with it. He plays it off the boards, but not out. Carpenter clears it. Carpenter sends it up to center, broken up there by the Islanders' Kenny Morrow again. Here's Morrow with it. He sends it off the right wing boards into the King zone, and back to get it, Jay Wells. Game tied 1-1. 3:55 remaining here in the second period. The Kings are going to get called for icing here as Kenny Morrow goes back to touch it.
Kenny Morrow, of course, a member of the 1980 gold medal USA Olympic Club, and then he joined the Islanders after the '80 Olympics and proceeded to win 4 consecutive Stanley Cups with the New York Islanders. Morrow recovering from some knee problems, but has been rebounding well. Derek King really took a stiff check from Mark Hardy. Hardy had tipped the puck on the way down the ice towards the King zone, and that nullified any icing or two-line pass. King touched up, but he paid the price.
Face off in the King zone. Puck comes back behind the King net, taken there by Dean Kennedy. He's bumped in the left wing corner. Islanders trying to hold it in. Bassett checked Kennedy. Kennedy went down to one knee and maybe on top of the puck. Now he gets up with it. Passes up the middle to Phil Sykes. Sykes to the red line. Here's Sykes, fanned on it, then drives it in, but that miss when he went to shoot it in put Bourne offside.
I've noticed here throughout the second period that the Islanders have been hitting the red line, dumping it in, whereas the Kings are still trying to make those fancy plays at the Islander blue line. We talked about Bob Bourne. He was with the Islanders for his first 12 years in the NHL. Last year with the Kings, his first year in Los Angeles. 13 goals, 9 assists, and 22 points. Was contemplating retiring after last year, but decided to play again. The Kings signed him to a new contract.
Now at center, here's Dean Kennedy. Drives it into the Islanders zone. 1-1 tie. 3:27 to go. Second period. Puck comes to the blue line, and Kennedy just had trouble with it. It was bouncing. He tried to hold it in, but it got away from him. Came to center ice, and the Kings fired right back into the New York zone. Played off the boards. They ruled that Kennedy could have played it. It comes down to the Kings zone. Melanson stops it, clears it himself right out in front of the Islander bench. Brad Delgarno takes it away. Now it rolls free on the right wing side to Sykes. He gets knocked down by Bob Bassett in the Islander zone. Puck is flipped high in the air by Gord Deneen back into the Kings zone. Kennedy trying to clear it out in front of the Islander bench, and he did, and then when the Islanders got it again, they were offside of the King line. 1-1 tie with 2:51 to go here in the second period.
Well, both clubs trading goals early in the period. At 1:14, LaFontaine, as he had about 2 or 3 swipes at a rebound after he was stopped by Rolly Melanson. Denis Potvin, longtime captain, number 5 of the New York Islanders, is going to call it quits after this year. He's the all-time record holder for defensemen in goals, assists, and points, 1,001 points, and he's going to be our guest live in just a few moments.
Face off outside the King blue line. They got Jimmy Carson at center, Robitaille the left wing, Taylor on the right wing, Laidlaw and Duchesne back in defense. Here's Carson across the line. Islanders zone. He shoots, and a save by Billy Smith. Knocked it down chest high and then caught it in the glove. Kings trying to hold it in. They can't. Comes off Laidlaw's stick, and the Islanders come back. Down the right wing, Mikko Makela trying to get around Laidlaw. Makela goes down. Laidlaw with it. His pass into the left wing corner. Bounces free and up the middle. Kings with it. Robitaille to center. To Carson. Carson across the line. Left side. He shoots wide. Rebound off the boards. Chased down by Robitaille. And Richard Crom tips it away for New York. Puck taken by Trache. Puts it behind his own net. And the Islanders start back out again. Here's Denis Potvin up to center ice. His pass on the right side to Makela. King zone. 2 minutes left to go. Second period. Makela's pass taken away by Robitaille. Robitaille tried a soft pass to Fox, and it was knocked down by Makela. Now the King line. Here's Laidlaw. Up to center. He gives it to Fox. Fox to the red line. Fox to the Islander line around Morrow. Fox left side. His shot blocked by Denis Potvin. Potvin roughs up Fox. Puck comes now to Nichols. He couldn't hang on to it, and the Islanders take it away. Back they come to center ice. Pass knocked down by Jay Wells. Wells to Fox, right side. Islanders up. His shot blocked by Potvin as Bobby Carpenter headed for the net. Here's Greg Gilbert for New York. He sends it into the King zone. Back behind the net. Cut off by Melanson. 1:20 to go. Second period. Tight game. It's tied 1-1. Fox on the right wing. Now to Hardy of the red line. He's got the King goal. He gives it to Carpenter. Carpenter gets bumped just outside the Islander line, but now flips it into the New York zone. Behind the net, it's taken by Thomas Johnson. Janssen around the right side. Up to center. 1 minute to go. Second period. Thomas Johnson taken out of the play by Hardy. Kings with it. Jay Wells tried to clear it. He gets knocked down. Gets it to Kudelski, and we have a whistle here. I don't know whether they're ruling a hand pass on it or Jay Wells had been knocked down and tried to make the play, and he's upset with the linesman, Jimmy Christensen. So with 52 seconds remaining, call a hand pass against the Kings. That was legal in the preseason, but not here. And the faceoff is going to be about 8 feet inside the King blue line. Jay Wells goes to the bench. Kings send out Duchesne and Laidlaw on defense. 52 seconds remaining here in the second period. 1-1 the score. Face-off. LaFontaine for the Islanders against Bourne. Bourne wins the drive, comes out to center, but New York shoots it right back in. Here's Duchesne. Duchesne against the right wing boards. Headman to Bob Kudelski. Kudelski, the rookie, gives it to Phil Sykes. He fires it into the Islanders zone. Billy Smith cuts it off. Gord Deneen goes for it. Deneen bumped by Sykes. Puck comes to the blue line and off the stick of Duchesne out to center ice. Duchesne tried to flip it back into the Islanders zone. Sykes had to get back on side. Islanders take over. 23 seconds to go. We're in the second period. 1-1 the score. Islanders with it to center ice. Alan Kerr flips it into the King zone, but Laidlaw back to get it. Laidlaw passing up the left side now to Sykes. Sykes gives it to Bourne. 10 seconds to go in the period. Bourne rolls it into the Islanders zone. Billy Smith scoops it up, throws it off into the corner. 4 seconds to go in the period. Sykes with it. His pass knocked down. 1 second to go, and that's it. So we have a tight hockey game on our hands tonight at the end of 2 periods. All the scoring so far tonight came in period number 2. Pat LaFontaine with his first of the year, unassisted at 1:14. 29 seconds later, Mark Hardy with his first of the year, a shorthanded goal assisted by Bobby Carpenter at 1:43. In a couple of moments, Nick will be talking live with Denis Potvin, the longtime star of the New York Islanders, playing in his final NHL season. We're at the end of 2 at the Fabulous Forum. The game tied 1-1. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
The Forum is once again set to become the launching pad for the rockets fired by some of the world's greatest volleyball talent. It's Great Western Team Cup Volleyball. And for the second straight year, Prime Ticket will bring you exclusive coverage from the Forum. Last season's innovative concept featured co-ed play. This season, it's just the men, so watch out for incredible action. Great Western Team Cup Volleyball. See it happen right here on Prime Ticket.
It's the Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers, led by the great one, Wayne Gretzky, ready to battle the Kings. A powerful Smythe Division matchup Sunday night right here on Prime Ticket.
Let's compare the sleek new lines of the Chevrolet Corsica to some import sedans. The imports look alike. A Toyota Camry looks like a Mitsubishi Galant, which looks like a Nissan Maxima, and they're over $10,000. The new Chevrolet Corsica, starting at $93,260, is rounded, aerodynamic, even roomier. Your Chevy dealer's not handing you the same old lines. Don't buy a sports sedan without seeing the new Corsica at your Southern California Chevrolet dealers.
And he's over for the touchdown. And fans, you can score a touchdown, too, during Discount Tire Center's Michelin Fall Kickoff Sale with outrageously low prices. When you buy Michelin's price as low as $26.95, we'll give you 2 free tickets to the UCLA-Washington game November 14th. Michelin's as low as $26.95 and free UCLA tickets. You can't get a better deal. Don't delay, though. Tickets are limited. Hurry to the Discount Tire Center nearest you, and remember, we cut prices, not quality.
Back here at the Fabulous Forum after 2 periods, a low-scoring affair between the New York Islanders and the Los Angeles Kings. The two teams trading goals 29 seconds apart early in that second period. For the New York Islanders, Pat LaFontaine, and the Kings coming back with a shorthanded goal from Mark Hardy. Well, we're seeing for one of the last times in his great career, Denis Potvin here tonight. I think the Islanders come in later on in the season, but Denis is going to call it quits after this season. A great career, obviously. Denis, why the decision to make this your final year?
Well, it wasn't something I decided overnight, Nick. It's been a long process, and I think over time what I wanted to do was to live with the decision that I'd quit at the end of the season, and I started feeling pretty good. But more importantly, there's 3 pretty good reasons. There's my wife and 2 children, and there's a whole new career ahead of me, and it's about time I get started somewhere else.
You mentioned a whole new career ahead of you. Is it going to be in hockey, or is it in something else? Well, or do you know what it's going to be?
I do know, and I'm quite happy. It's in commercial real estate. I've been working in commercial real estate in New York for 3 years now, full-time with a large firm, and they've been training me well, and I'm looking forward to that new career.
Wayne Gretzky has been in the league now for 9 years, and he scores so many goals, and everybody talks of offense. You scored your 1,000th point last April. And to put that in perspective, you're a defenseman now. Everybody knows that, of course. That's 10 years of 100 points. Did that sink in over the summer, your accomplishment of 1,000 points for a defenseman?
You know, I think what happens is that you think it's going to mean a lot more than it really does. And that's the important part, because when you're going after the goal, your concentration is high, your desire is very high, and you really want to accomplish that achievement. And in this particular case, I felt it was a milestone. But now that it's been done, it's just a feeling of satisfaction, and I'm really proud to have accomplished it. I'm proud of the team that I accomplished it with. And actually, 1,000 points is a big number for me.
The 1,000 points, the All-Star nominations, the awards, top defenseman, the Stanley Cups. Is there anything you haven't accomplished in the game of hockey at a professional level?
Well, you know, we first talked about my decision to leave the game, and in the press conference we held in New York, I'd prepared a statement, and in that statement I said that I'd really done all that I can do here, and it was a real feeling of satisfaction, and one that I couldn't have imagined would have happened when I first came in the NHL. But now I think it's time to move on, and as far as what this season holds for me, the captaincy was handed over to a younger player so that the team can start building up a new dynasty. And my motive this year is to be as helpful as I can and to contribute as best hockey-wise on and off the ice as I can possibly.
Well, Denis, it's always been a treat to watch you play. Best of luck as you make your final rounds in the NHL.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Nick.
All-Star defenseman Denis Potvin has been our guest. Well, as the season started, 1/3 of the teams in the NHL felt they had to make a change behind the bench. 7 new coaches. Terry Crisp moves in at Calgary. Michel Bergeron from Quebec to the New York Rangers. Herb Brooks to his hometown, Minnesota, of the North Stars. Pierre Creamer with Pittsburgh. Bob McCammon, formerly of the Flyers, now with Vancouver. Andre Savard, former center in the NHL, now with the Quebec Nordiques. And former King defenseman Bob Murdoch moves in with the Chicago Blackhawks. Again, we're between periods 2 and 3 from the Forum. We're tied up at 1. We'll be back with more. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
They call it El Capitan, pure granite, the largest single piece in the world, nearly 4,000 feet straight up. And I'll tell you, when you're standing up there, you know you're on solid ground. Well, I get the same feeling about Great Western Bank. They've been around for 100 years now, helping folks out through the good times and the bad. And they'll continue to be there. Nowadays, the Great Western family of companies stands for over $28 billion in assets and for the security of federal insurance. So you know that your money is real safe all the time. Things sure do look great from up here. You know, there's just something about a solid foundation that makes you feel good about a place.
Well, Bob, here it is. Top of the ninth, 2 out. Kaminsky's at bat.
And here's the pitch. Uh-oh, that ball's going. You can kiss that, baby. Holy cow, it hit the Spro's billboard in right field.
I know that 30-pack is big.
But, Jim, would you look at the size of that billboard?
I know, Bob. That's what Kaminsky was looking at. And look who just got tagged out at second.
The Stroh's 15 and 30-pack. With more cans in every case, what more could you ask for?
Chevy Nova owners talk about their car.
It doesn't surprise me at all that Chevy Nova is one of the most trouble-free cars in America.
I just fell in love with the Nova.
The Chevy Nova really shows that American workers can make a car just as good as any other country.
I drive a Chevrolet Nova.
Listen to that. That's a solid-built car.
It was very important to me that it was a Japanese car made by American workers.
I like my Nova pretty much. That's why I buy it.
You couldn't ask for a better car.
Chevy Nova. People seem to like it.
And at 2 periods of play at the Forum, the New York Islanders and the Los Angeles.
Decision that I'd quit at the end of the season, and I started feeling pretty good. But more importantly, there's 3 pretty good reasons. There's my wife and 2 children, and there's a whole new career ahead of me, and it's about time I get started somewhere else.
You mentioned a whole new career ahead of you. Is it going to be in hockey, or is it in something else?
Well,
or do you know what it's going to be?
I do know, and I'm quite happy. It's in commercial real estate. I've been working in commercial real estate in New York for 3 years now, full-time with a large firm, and they've been training me well, and I'm looking forward to that new career.
Wayne Gretzky has been in the league now for 9 years, and he scores so many goals, and everybody talks of offense. You scored your 1,000th point last April. And to put that in perspective, you're a defenseman now. Everybody knows that, of course. That's 10 years of 100 points. Did that sink in over the summer, your accomplishment of 1,000 points for a defenseman?
You know, I think what happens is that you think it's going to mean a lot more than it really does. And that's the important part, because when you're going after the goal, your concentration is high, your desire is very high, and you really want to accomplish that achievement. And in this particular case, I felt it was a milestone. But now that it's been done, it's just a feeling of satisfaction, and I'm really proud to have accomplished it. I'm proud of the team that I accomplished it with, and actually 1,000 points is a big number for me.
The 1,000 points, the All-Star nominations, the awards, top defenseman, the Stanley Cups. Is there anything you haven't accomplished in the game of hockey at a professional level?
Well, you know, we first talked about my decision to leave the game, and in the press conference we held in New York, I had prepared a statement, and in that statement I said that I'd really done all that I can do here, and it was a real feeling of satisfaction, and one that I couldn't have imagined would have happened when I first came in the NHL. But now I think it's time to move on, and as far as what this season holds for me, the captaincy was handed over to a younger player so that the team can start building up a new dynasty. And my motive this year is to be as helpful as I can and to contribute as best hockey-wise on and off the ice as I can possibly.
Well, Dennis, it's always been a treat to watch you play. Best of luck as you make your final rounds in the NHL.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Nick.
All-star defenseman Denis Potvin has been our guest. Well, as the season started, 1/3 of the teams in the NHL felt they had to make a change behind the bench. 7 new coaches. Terry Crisp moves in at Calgary. Michel Bergeron from Quebec to the New York Rangers. Herb Brooks to his hometown, Minnesota, of the North Stars. Pierre Creamer with Pittsburgh. Bob McCammon, formerly of the Flyers, now with Vancouver. Andre Savard, former center in the NHL, now with the Quebec Nordiques. And former King defenseman Bob Murdoch moves in with the Chicago Blackhawks. Again, we're between periods 2 and 3 from the Forum. We're tied up at 1. We'll be back with more. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
They call it El Capitan, pure granite, the largest single piece in the world, nearly 4,000 feet straight up. And I'll tell you, when you're standing up there, you know you're on solid ground. Well, I get the same feeling about Great Western Bank. They've been around for 100 years now, helping folks out through the good times and the bad. And they'll continue to be there. Nowadays, the Great Western family of companies stands for over $28 billion in assets and for the security of federal insurance. So you know that your money is real safe all the time. Things sure do look great from up here. You know, there's just something about a solid foundation that makes you feel good about a place.
Well, Bob, here it is. Top of the ninth, 2 out. Kaminsky's at bat.
And here's the pitch. Uh-oh, that ball's going! You can kiss that, baby! Holy cow! It hit the Sproles billboard in right field.
I know that 30-pack is big.
But, Jim, would you look at the size of that billboard?
I know, Bob. That's what Kaminsky was looking at. And look who just got tagged out at second.
The Stroh's 15 and 30 pack. With more cans in every case. What more could you ask for?
Chevy Nova owners talk about their car.
It doesn't surprise me at all that Chevy Nova is one of the most trouble-free cars in America.
I just fell in love with the Nova.
The Chevy Nova really shows that American workers can make a car just as good as any other country.
I drive a Chevrolet Nova.
Listen to that. That's a solid built car.
It was very important to me that it was a Japanese car made by American workers.
I like my Nova pretty much. That's why I buy it. You couldn't ask for a better car.
Chevy Nova. People seem to like it.
And at 2 periods of play at the Forum, the New York Islanders and the Los Angeles Kings. It's a 1-1 tie here on opening night. Pat LaFontaine scoring for the Islanders, an unassisted goal at 1:14. And then Mark Hardy, just 29 seconds later, scoring a shorthanded goal for Los Angeles to tie the game up. Let's take a look at what's happening elsewhere in the NHL. Vancouver leading St. Louis 4-1, second period of play. Calgary leading Detroit 4-1 in the third. It's all over in Boston, where the Bruins beat Washington 4-3. Quebec knocked off Hartford tonight 5-1. Minnesota and Buffalo a 2-2 tie. Same story in Philadelphia between the Canadiens and the Flyers. Toronto knocked off Chicago tonight 7-5. Pittsburgh and the New York Rangers a 4-4 tie. And now here on opening night, we have a chance to talk with the general manager of the Los Angeles Kings, Rogie Vachon. And Rogie, what do you think of the first 2 periods of play here before we get on to other subjects? The Kings and the Islanders locked up in a 1-1 tie.
Well, I thought both teams played very, very well defensively. It looks like April, you know, the way the two teams are playing, very, very tight defensively. I thought we had better chances to score, and probably 4-1, I would say. And hopefully, Smitty is going to give us 1 or 2 in the third period.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your hockey team this year, because there's a lot of optimism that has been created over the course of the off season and throughout the preseason. Are people expecting too much? People are talking about the Kings in terms of second place in the division. Are people over optimistic?
Well, we certainly hope not. I think we have very good coaching staff now, very well established. Murphy, I think, has everything under control at this time. We have a lot of young guys, like the 3 rookies we've talked about last year. I think they're going to have another good season this year. Roland Melanson, this year, for the first time, we have a #1 goalie. We know that he can do the job. And also, our first-round pick this year, it looks like he's going to be able to make our club. We're going to have some other additions, like Danny Gratton at center played very, very well. Bob Kodelsky played well. Joe Patterson was the surprise at training camp to start scoring goals, and if he keeps going like this, it's going to be great. I think overall we've played very well. We have a little bit of injuries at this time, but I think everybody else does. But yes, we're looking forward to this season.
Well, one of those injured and not being able to play tonight, the #1 draft choice of the Kings, young McBean, the 18-year-old defenseman. What can you realistically expect out of him in his first year?
Well, the thing that really surprised us at this time, that defensively he's playing very well. Excuse me. For a young guy, 18 years old, that he handled himself very well in preseason games, and didn't cost us any goals. He makes the safe plays all the time. He's big and strong, and you know he's going to improve. So we're going to give him a shot and see if he can do it. If not, we can return him to junior.
You were active in the waiver draft earlier this week. You took Tim Tukey from Philadelphia. What was your thinking there?
Well, as a fourth center here, we were debating which one we're going to keep, Wilkes or Grattan. And then we decided to take Grattan, and Brian Wilkes had the option to either go to New Haven on our farm team or to go to the Olympic team. And we thought he's going to go to the Olympic teams, and we needed an insurance center in case something happened here. And unfortunately, Dave King with the Canadian Olympic team decided not to take him, so he's going to be available for us too. So, and I think Tim Tukey put some great numbers on the board in the minor leagues the last 2 years, and we think that he can help our team.
Okay, Rogie, thanks a lot. We hope your optimism is borne out with a big season this year for the Los Angeles Kings. Rogie Vachon, general manager of the Los Angeles Kings. Well, back on October 8th, 1946, at the age of 17, and you can be sure that that picture was not taken when he was 17, Gordie Howe signed his very first contract with the Red Wings, still the NHL's all-time scoring leader with 1,801 points, played until he was 51 in the National Hockey League. One tie between the New York Islanders and the Los Angeles Kings at the Forum on opening night. We'll be right back with the third period after this.
Saturday night, the Oregon Ducks, fresh off a big upset of Washington, get set to tackle the Trojans of USC. It's another powerful Pac-10 battle you'll see right here on Prime Ticket. Oregon and USC Saturday night. It's the Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers, led by the great one, Wayne Gretzky, ready to battle the Kings. A powerful Smythe Division matchup Sunday night right here on Prime Ticket. The 1987 Michelin Challenge Tennis Series returns with a wallop as John McEnroe comes back to the Forum to meet the world's 5th-ranked player, Miloslav Machir. See it live Monday night at 6 right here on the Prime Ticket Network.
Prime Ticket will be your place to watch America's Olympic hopefuls as they set off for the road to Seoul. For the next year, up to the Summer Olympic Games in Korea, Prime Ticket will bring you events that will showcase our greatest amateur athletic talent. Such events as track and field, swimming, volleyball, and water polo are just some of the exciting competitions you'll see in the coming year on Prime Ticket. So join Prime Ticket on the road to Seoul and watch the future American champion athletes in action.
When you rent a car from Avis, it comes with a lot of people who want to make sure you're satisfied. Reservation and counter people, mechanics, managers and maintenance people. They're Avis. You may not always see them, but they're there. Rent a Cadillac Seville from Avis for only $45 a day.
Kings in that second period tied the game after they were behind 1-0 after LaFontaine took advantage of a King miscue and got a third shot, Nick, and you can only expect the goalie to make one save, but Rolly Melanson made a couple of great saves here. LaFontaine went down the right side, save made, then a beautiful save as Melanson was diving across in front, made the save, but the third time was the charm for LaFontaine, and he scored. Then Billy Smith got knocked down by Bobby Carpenter, and I thought he took his time getting up. I don't know if he's looking for a penalty or what. He just stayed in the crease, and Carpenter got the puck, and he got it to Hardy. And when Hardy teed it up, Nick, boy, a shooter's dream. Nobody in front of the net, and the Kings have tied it 1-1. All right, Kings assistant coach Phil Meir with us again. Phil, what about the advice from the coaches to the players on the Kings team for this third period now?
Well, for one thing, we have to get off to a better start this period. The beginning of this period, we were not as disciplined as we had been in the first period, but we recuperated and played it decent in the second half of the period. We have to continue to be strong defensively. This is a strong defensive team who can explode at any point, and we're happy now. We're playing a very sound defensive game, and we have to continue to do this, and we'll get our chances to score.
Assistant coach Phil Meir. Bernie Nichols out to take the face-off for the Kings against Brian Trottier. We're tied at 1. Here's Bob.
And Denis Potvin with it for the Islanders at his own blue line. New York moving left to right. Here's Mikko Makela to Trottier in the slot. He shoots just wide to the right side. Puck is back behind the King net, taken there by Wells. Up ahead to center to Nichols. Kings may have a 3-on-3 working. Here's Carpenter, left side. His shot blocked by Potvin. Carpenter still battles for it. Gets it now to Fox, but it rolls away from him. And look out, Makela on a break down the right side. Chasing it in deep in the corner. He goes behind the net. Gets around Wells. Centers it now, and Gerald Diddick in deep. Tried to roll it out in front. Taken away by Jay Wells. Makela was coming down the right side. The puck was way out in front of him. And when he caught up with it, he cut behind the net. And now at center ice, the Islanders' Richard Crom sends it down into the King zone. And back to get it, Jay Wells. Game tied 1-1. Both teams at full strength. Third period just underway. From center ice, Kenny Morrow, the Islanders, drives it back behind the King net. Taken there by Hardy. He plays the boards to Taylor. Taylor comes up to center now. Taylor ahead down the left side, try to give it to Carson. Carson in deep. Carson throws it around the boards, but Brent Sutter's going to intercept. Here's Sutter, nice pass to Flatley. Flatley 1 against 2, comes across the King line, goes to the right side. Flatley centering pass in front. Save Melanson. He beat Greg Gilbert at point blank.
Well, the good scoring chances for the Islanders, and I guess we could say at this point of the game for the Kings, have been few and far between. And right there, Gilbert got the benefit of, I think, a deflected puck off a skate. It was right in the slot about 15 feet out, but Melanson does a great job of challenging Gilbert, stays on his skates, and I think he kind of squeezed that puck between his left arm and his midsection and held on with Gilbert looking for the rebound.
Well, you need the big save like that in a 1-1 tie. 18:40 to go in the third period. Face off to the right of Rolly Melanson. Brent Sutter will take the draw against Jimmy Carson of the Kings. Puck is taken by the Islanders, passed out in front. Flatley knocked down, penalty coming up. Flatley got knocked down. I think they got Dave Taylor. So the Islanders are going to go on the power play here, holding the call against Dave Taylor as he held past Flatley.
Puck came right in front, and the defenseman couldn't handle it. Went off the blade of the stick, and Taylor was forced to take the penalty. So the captain in the box for holding at 1:26. We're tied at 1. Second period stats: Islanders 13 shots, Kings with 19. The face-offs: Islanders 16, Kings with 20. Penalties, each team with 6 minors. And on the power play, the Islanders 0 for 4 and the Kings 0 for 5.
So the Islanders get their 5th power play opportunity right here with a chance to take the lead in the game. King penalty killers. Laidlaw back on defense with Duchesne. Sykes and Bourne up front. Big priority with the Kings this year. Improve that penalty killing, which was dead last year in the league, and 4 of the last 5 years. Here's Laidlaw with it after Bourne wins the draw. Can't clear it though. Nice play. Thomas Johnson holds it in over to Potvin. He lost it to Phil Sykes. Potvin fanned on his pass, and Sykes took it away, and he clears it into the Islanders zone. Kings beat the Islanders twice last year, 2 out of the 3 times that they played them. Now up to center ice. Here's Pat LaFontaine. He throws it over on the right side of Mikko Makela. Makela into the King zone to King. Left side, Janssen takes a shot. Now his shot deflected by Duchesne. Comes over against the right wing boards. Puck is still in the King zone, taken by Laidlaw, and he clears it out to center ice, and the Islanders take over again with 1:15 to go on the man advantage. Thomas Johnson throws it into the King zone. Bernie Nichols with it, flips it right back down into the New York zone.
Well, even on the power play, the Islanders seem to be content to not make a play at center ice. They want to hit the red line, dump it in, and just try and outwork the Kings.
Carpenter skated by in front of Billy Smith, and Smitty got his stick up, and he's kind of looking like, hey, I was just standing here. It was Carpenter that came in near me. Puck taken by the Islanders. Trache, left side, can't get around Hardy. Hardy checks him. Puck taken by Pat Flatley. King zone. Flatley still with it. Flatley left side to the blue line to Thomas Johnson. He shoots wide to the right. Rebound on the right point. Taken there by Gerald Diddick. Diddick into Brent Sutter. Behind the net now. Islanders with it. Pass up the middle. Intercepted. As Flatley's pass is taken away by Bernie Nichols, and he clears it.
Well, good coverage in front. The Islanders trying to set up Trache behind the net to make a play. They dumped it in the slot, but no one was there for New York. Nichols intercepts and clears.
18 seconds ago on the power play for the Islanders. Here's Trache passing in deep now. A pass right out in front. A bouncing puck. And it's cleared to the blue line, but not out. Here's Diddick, right side. His pass broken up by Hardy. He falls over the back of Trache. Islanders with it again. Flatley shoots, saved by Melanson. Puck comes to Nichols. Again, he can't clear it. Thomas Johnson, his shot wide. Kings are back at full strength. Here is Gerald Diddick passing in deep to Sutter. He didn't get it, but Thomas Johnson did. He shoots, safe, rebound, poked away by Wells, just out of the reach of Brent Sutter. And the Kings finally clear it to center ice. Islanders take over again. Here's Trache. Boy, they had the pressure on Nick, but when their shots are on goal, the save made by Melanson. Now the Kings drive at the length of the ice. They want to get a line change, and here's an icing call against the Kings. 16:01 to go in the third period. 1-1 tie. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
You know what I like best about fishing? Yeah, the catch of the day.
Come on, we'll show you how a good time goes. We're going to a place where they talk Strohs. Cause a good time's better with a good time beer. And Strohs is smoking here.
Strohs, fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste. Now you're talking beer.
A good time's better with a good time beer. And Strohs is smoking here.
Face-off in the Kings zone to the right of Rolly Melanson. Bob Basson in to take the draw against the Kings. Jimmy Carson. Basson wins the draw. Left point. Here's Conroy. Conroy sends it behind the King net, but it comes around to Robitaille. Robitaille on the left side. Pass on the middle stolen, and a shot. Score! Robitaille soft pass up the middle stolen by Randy Wood. And he scores to give the Islanders a 2-1 lead.
Well, in a close hockey game, Luc Robitaille and a lot of the players on the Kings are going to have to learn that you can't make that risky play. Traffic in front, a soft pass nowhere near a King, and Wood uses the defenseman Kennedy as a screen and puts one right between the pads of a startled goaltender, Rolly Melanson. So Wood with his first goal of the season. It comes 4:09 into the third period, and the Islanders lead on a turnover, a giveaway by Luc Robitaille.
That is not Wood's first NHL goal. He had one last year when he played 6 games with the Islanders. So the rookie out of Yale University gives New York a 2-1 lead. Now the Islanders with it again. Down the right wing. Here's Basson. Basson to Wood. His shot deflected by Redmond up into the crowd. 15:30 left to go in the third period. Randy Wood getting an unassisted goal at 4:09.
Free agent signee September of 1986, 3 years at Yale. Like Bob Kudelski, a teammate at Yale for 3 years. He has good size, 6 feet, 195 pounds. He'll turn 24 years old next week. So an early birthday present for Randy Wood. Last year at Springfield, he had 47 points, including 23 goals. And Bob, it always seems to be the case in a tight game, low-scoring affair. One mistake could determine who wins and who loses.
Luc Robitaille really upset with himself on the bench, smashed his stick into the boards, and just hates to make a mistake like that. And now his team behind 2-1. Here's Denis Potvin at the blue line. His shot wide to the left side. Rebound in the King zone. Bobby Carpenter gets it to Fox. Fox can't clear it. Islanders doing a good job of holding in. They got it in front, and a save by Melanson on LaFontaine. Pat LaFontaine got it right in front of the net. Now the puck is flipped high in the air around the right point again. Denis Potvin holds it in. Throws it behind the King net. Taken now on the right side by Jimmy Fox for the Kings. Up to center to Nichols. Here's Nichols with Carpenter. Gives it to Carpenter. Islanders zone. He shoots wide. Rebound. And Billy Smith gets knocked down by Laidlaw, but the Islanders come to center with it. On the right wing, here's Alan Kerr. Kerr moving in. His pass knocked down by Duchesne. Kings move back. Moving right to left. Pass to Carpenter. Carpenter, the Islander line. Over to Fox, right side. Fox in deep. Fox behind the Islander net, trying to give it to Bernie Nichols. Nichols against the left wing boards. He's bumped there. Here's Wells, left point. He shoots. Blocked in front. Loose puck, Islanders with it. It'll be brought out to center ice now by Derek King. King to Flatley. Flatley to LaFontaine. Left wing side. King zone. LaFontaine to the blue line to Morrow. Shooting, and it just deflected wide. As Melanson got way down low to the ice to try and see the puck. Kings clear it to center. Shots on goal are even. 19-19, but the Islanders have a 2-1 lead. Puck taken by New York. Here's Morrow driving it into the King zone. Bobby Bourne with it. He's bumped along the boards by Pat Flatley. Puck is in the right wing corner, King zone. Now taken behind the King net by Wells. Wells gets spun around. Bourne goes for it. Bourne checked there. Puck taken by the Islanders, but Flatley's lost his stick. He kicks it to Brent Sutter. Now Wells in to get it. Wells pass around to Sykes, but he has it on the left wing. Sykes to center, along with Kudelski. Here's Sykes flipping it into the Islanders zone behind the net. Puck is stopped there by Billy Smith. Now up on the left side, here's Greg Gilbert. His pass gets tipped by Sykes, who takes a hard check and gets knocked down. Puck taken to center ice by Wells. Now to Kudelski. He's tied up. And the Islanders within their own zone. 13:20 left to go. Third period, 2-1 New York. Thomas Johnson across the King line. His shot deflected into the crowd by Mark Hardy. So it's 2-1 Islanders. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Look at the lines of the new Chevrolet Beretta. They're sleek and rounded. Compared to Honda Prelude, Beretta is lower and more aerodynamic. And look at Beretta's longer wheelbase next to the Nissan 200 SX. And these imports are priced hundreds more.
Chevrolet Beretta cuts through with a price as low as $99.42.
You want styling? Your Chevy dealer's not handing you the same old lines. Don't buy a sports coupe without seeing the new Beretta at your Southern California Chevrolet dealers.
Islanders lead it 2-1. The Islanders now working very hard. They're tying up the Kings. Kings with no offense in the third period. They've done a great job, the Islanders had, on Robitaille and Carson. Carson has one shot in the game on goal. That wasn't a great chance, and Robitaille has been completely shut down.
Now Jay Wells sends it out to center in front of the Islander bench, taken by Mikko Makela. Makela sends it right back into the King zone, and it is played by Mark Hardy. Hardy waits there, passes on the left side to Wells. 2-1 Islanders, third period. 12:49 to go in the period. Jimmy Carson sends it into the Islander zone. Billy Smith, the goaltender, sticks it into the corner, taken by Richard Crom. Now the Islanders play it behind the net and up the left side to Trottier. Now to center ice. Pass on the right wing side goes to Mikko Makela. Over to Trottier in the slot. Trottier's pass back to Makela against the right wing boards. He's bumped there, gets it to Denis Potvin. Potvin shooting, and it's through and wide to the left side as Melanson looked to be screened again. Puck is back behind the King net. Chased there by Hardy and Makela. Makela against the board, checked by Hardy. Now the puck taken by the Kings, Jimmy Carson, as he starts out. Carson coming up to the King line, throws it on the right side, intercepted by the Islanders. Trottier left side, he shoots wide and off the boards. Puck comes back on the right wing side, held in by Randy Wood. It's his goal, it's given the Islanders the lead. Wood's pass to the blue line, then tipped in deep. Wells pokes it around Trottier. Puck comes to Robitaille, but he can't hang on to it. Puck taken by Potvin at the blue line. He shoots, stick save, and covering up is Rolly Melanson. Brad Delgarno, the rookie, pushing at Jay Wells. Wells being backed right into his goaltender, Melanson, who was down on his knees. So Jay, with all his strength, pushed Delgarno out of the way, and he's a big guy. Delgarno, 6'3", 205.
Kings really, for the first time for any extended period in the game tonight, having problems. They cannot get anything going offensively. The Islanders just outworking them and winning the battles along the boards, and they're getting some decent chances. And Rolly Melanson is not getting a great look at a lot of these shots from the points.
2 unassisted goals for the Islanders as they stole 2 King passes. Face off to the left of Rolly Melanson in the King zone. Bob Basson with the draw, and he's got the puck in the right wing corner. He's bumped there by Duchesne, or by Grattan, excuse me. Puck is loose in the corner. King zone. Now behind the net and sent out in front as Kennedy tried to throw a check there on Randy Wood, but Wood with a nice centering pass. It just came wide of the net. Kings third to center. Randy Wood for the Islanders. His pass broken up and driven down by Sean McKenna behind the Islander net. Kings are home Saturday night. St. Louis Blues with Bernie Federko will be here. Sunday night, the Edmonton Oilers with Wayne Gretzky will be here. Tickets available for box office and Ticketmaster. And we've got an offside against the Islanders, with the Islanders leading 2-1 in the third period. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
The volatile John McEnroe and the extremely talented Miloslav Bachir make up round 3 of the 4-man 87 Michelin Tennis Challenge, coming back to the Forum on Monday night, October 12th. You can get great seats by ordering your tickets now. Call the Forum at 213-419-3257. Tickets are also available at Ticketmaster locations. John McEnroe is back in the Forum. Get your tickets now for the Michelin Tennis Challenge, October 12th.
coach Mike Murphy has Dan Gratton out with Duncanson and McKenna. They have not played a whole heck of a lot here tonight, and I think Murphy's trying to get the troops going. This line hopefully will throw their weight around, get in the zone, and create some momentum for the Kings to build on.
11:08 left to go in the third period. 2-1 Islanders. Here they come to center. Pass to LaFontaine. He throws it off on the left side, and then it's batted down, and offside called anyway against the New York Islanders as they came to the King blue line.
Pat LaFontaine, the Islanders' first pick in the '83 draft. Last year, 38 goals, a career high, 70 points, and he had that overtime goal in the fourth overtime in the playoffs versus Washington in round number 1. He's in his 4th full season with the New York Islanders. He was a member of the United States Olympic team in 1984, and after the Olympics that year, Sarajevo, Yugoslavia, he joined the Islanders for the rest of '83-'84.
Islanders with it at center ice now. Conroy lifts it into the right wing corner. King zone. Redmond over to get it. Redmond checked by LaFontaine. Puck is loose to Dan Gratton, but he can't clear it. Gord Denis to the right point. He sends it in deep. Kings take it away. It's cleared up the left side by Gratton to center ice now. Sean McKenna driving down the left wing, and he's taken out of the play by Steve Conroy right in front of the Islander bench. Back comes New York. LaFontaine. Poke checked away, but Alan Kerr with it. Here's Kerr across the line of the King zone. He throws it in deep. Chasing it into the corner now is Derek King. He gets knocked down. Puck is at the left point. Alan Kerr with it. Kerr's pass. Left side to King. King trying to send it into LaFontaine. LaFontaine plays it back to the blue line to Diddick. Diddick shooting to the left point, and it bounces free to Kennedy, and he clears it out to center ice. 10:08 left to go in the third period. Puck taken now as the Kings do not have a shot here in this third period. They had 19 at the end of 2, and they have 19 right now with 9:57 left to go in the third period. Kings need some firepower. Here's Carpenter across the line. Fires it into the Islanders zone. Behind the net. Taken there by the goaltender Smith. Now Brent Sutter. Can he clear it? Left point. Held in by Laidlaw for the Kings. He drives it down the left side. Into the corner. Picked up by Brent Sutter. He gives it to Gerald Diddick. Diddick's pass on the left side to Greg Gilbert. Now to center ice and off the skate of Laidlaw. It comes back into the Islanders zone. Kings get back outside. Here's Denis Potvin. Puck is given away, almost given away, but the Islanders get it back. Here's Flatley with a 3-on-2 across the King line. Down to Diddick, who tried to get behind the defense, but is tipped away by Bobby Carpenter. Hard check by Carpenter on Diddick. Puck taken by the Kings, Jimmy Fox. Now the puck comes up to center ice. Taken there by Gilbert. He flips it backhand, back behind the King net, and stopped there by Melanson. 9:04 left to go in the third period. Kings are down 2-1. Pass up to center ice, intercepted by Morrow of New York, and he fires it back into the King zone. Down the right side, here's Mikko Makela. Makela bumped in the right wing corner by Laidlaw. Puck is sent out in front, intercepted by the Kings. Bernie Nichols with it, ahead to Phil Sykes. Sykes drives it down the right side. Kings are in a line change. Out comes Bourne, along with Kudelski and Sykes up front. Back defensively, Hardy and Wells. Kings have it at center ice. Hardy gives it to Sykes. Sykes down the right side. Bourne heads for the net. Sykes couldn't get it to him. He flipped it up in the air, and it's gloved by Billy Smith. And now Bob Bourne comes in, and he takes a run at Billy Smith. And it looked like he slashed with his stick at Smith.
What happened, Bob? Sykes was hauled down and slid into Smith, and Smith kind of gave Sykes an extra shot at the whistle as he covered up, and Bourne really took exception. Last year, Sykes and Bourne, going for a puck behind Billy Smith's net on the island in a game there, were elbowed simultaneously by Billy Smith. And if I remember correctly, out of that sequence of penalties, the Islanders got a power play out of it. Didn't matter, the Kings won the game handily, but I think Bourne and Sykes remember that little skirmish, and we should get a penalty or two right here.
Billy Smith had his helmet knocked off. He's got that back on. 2-1 Islanders. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Let's compare the sleek new lines of the Chevrolet Corsica to some import sedans. The imports look alike. A Toyota Camry looks like a Mitsubishi Galant, which looks like a Nissan Maxima, and they're over $10,000. The new Chevrolet Corsica, starting at $93,260, is rounded, aerodynamic, even roomier. Your Chevy dealer's not handing you the same old lines. Don't buy a sports sedan without seeing the new Corsica at your Southern California Chevrolet dealers.
So we're getting penalties here. Bob Bourne. Bourne gets 2 minutes, and I didn't hear, was it Billy Smith? Billy Smith of the Islanders gets 2 minutes for high sticking.
Well, again, Sykes is going to fall down as he goes for the puck. He and Janssen battling. Sykes will fall down as Smith gloves the puck. He slides into Smith, and I really think Smith took advantage of the situation by giving a left knee to the fallen Sykes, and that's when Bourne got in there, and he took the helmet off of Billy Smith. Trottier goes in there, and boy, Bourne was really upset. That's, I think, probably the most upset I've seen Bob Bourne since he's joined the Kings.
Well, it looked like what Smith did was just kneel down on top of Sykes with both knees, and Bourne felt that was uncalled for. This brings up something, Nick, you and I talked about in the preseason. Some players feel the goaltender should serve their penalty. I don't know how you feel about that, but anything other than a delay a game where they shoot it out, if it's a high stick or a slash, let the goaltender go in the penalty box and let the spare goalie come in cold off the bench.
Well, again, we get another look at it. Sykes is dumped, and he falls underneath the left leg pad of Smith, who just kind of conveniently stays there for a while. You can see Smith, or rather Sykes, when he got up, he was upset, and that's when Bourne came to his rescue. Smith loses his helmet and face mask, and Bourne is really trying to get at the goaltender, but Trottier, Morrow, Makela are there to prevent Bourne from doing so. I like it in one regard. I think it would cut down a lot of the stick work by a selected few goaltenders, but I don't like it because it might delay the game even more than it already is with a lot of these new rule changes.
Bob Basson bumped hard by Dean Kennedy of the Islander line. The puck comes into the King zone. Here's Sykes. He clears it out to center. We're getting down to 8 minutes left to go in the third period, and the Kings don't have a shot yet in this period, and they're down 2-1. And now at center ice, we've got Phil Sykes into a fight with Bob Basson. And Basson throwing some right hands and some uppercuts, and Sykes battling back, but Basson's got Sykes' jersey up over his head and off. Now Basson's lost his helmet. He spins Sykes around and knocks him down at center ice.
Well, Sykes has a couple inches on Basson, but Basson's got the weight by about 10 pounds. Sykes 170, dripping wet, and Basson goes about 180. Basson 5'10", Sykes about 6 feet. Happened right at center ice. They let him go for a while. Neither player got hurt, and when they fell to the ice, the linesmen separated them.
So they'll both get 5 minutes for fighting at least. Maybe some other minor penalties tacked on. It happened behind the play.
Bob Basson's dad, Hank, played goal in the NHL for a couple of years, and I really think now the Kings down to a point where they have absolutely no momentum, no offense in the period, and I think veterans like Bourne and Sykes are trying to go out there. Dean Kennedy that last shift throwing his weight around there, trying to generate some emotion to try and get back in this game, and hopefully they can get that one break to tie up the game.
Kings are down 2-1. Sykes and Basson get 5 minutes each for fighting. So both teams are still going to be at full strength here with 7:59 to go in this third period. Saturday night, the St. Louis Blues are here. We'll be on KLAC Radio with our pregame talk show at 10 minutes to 7. Sunday, Wayne Gretzky and the Edmonton Oilers are here. We'll be on KLAC at 10 minutes to 7 and the Prime Ticket Television Network at 7:15. Kings with it. Here's Duchesne up to center ice. His pass taken away by Greg Gilbert. Gilbert for New York, back down the right side. His pass right through the slot and over on the right side, taken by Jimmy Carson. Carson comes to center to Duchesne. Duchesne across the line. Duchesne trying to split the defense. Conroy takes over. He's bumped by Taylor. Puck is taken by Carson, left wing side. He's bumped in the Islander zone. Carson along the boards. His pass broken up now, and Flatley comes to center for New York. To Gilbert. Now up to center. Puck comes into the King zone and chased down by Flatley. He goes down the ice with one of the Kings. It was Laidlaw. The puck comes up in front of the King bench and is taken there by New York's Gerald Diddick. Diddick drives it back behind the King net. Melanson couldn't cut it off. It comes over to Robitaille. Here's Luke passing behind the King net over to Taylor. Taylor cleared it right to the left point. It's taken away, and a shot from there is deflected wide. Taylor slapped it to the left point, and the Islanders held it in. Now they do again. Kerr's shot. It hit his own teammate Derek King on the way in. Now taken by Jimmy Carson for the Kings. Carson on the right side, pokes it up to Taylor at center. Taylor couldn't handle it. Islanders with it again with 6:45 to go in the third period, and the Kings without a shot in this period. Here is Kerr cutting in. He's pulled down, and a penalty to Dave Taylor. Alan Kerr got it on the right side and had a pretty high percentage shot, and he got pulled down by Taylor. 2-1. The Islanders have the lead in the third period. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
And he's over for the touchdown. And fans, you can score a touchdown too during Discount Tire Center's Michelin Fall Kickoff Sale with outrageously low prices. When you buy Michelin's price as low as $26.95, we'll give you 2 free tickets to the UCLA-Washington game November 14th. Michelin's as low as $26.95 and free UCLA tickets. You can't get a better deal. Don't delay though, tickets are limited. Hurry to the Discount Tire Center nearest you, and remember, we cut prices, not quality.
Well, I thought they got Taylor, but it was Tommy Laidlaw that hooked the Islanders' Alan Kerr. Laidlaw right behind him, and he reached out and pulled him down, and then Taylor cut across in front, but it was Laidlaw who goes. So anyway, the Islanders with a 2-1 lead now have the man advantage, and they have the puck. Potvin shooting from the blue line, stick save, and the puck comes over on the left wing side and is cleared out to center ice by Bernie Nichols. Back into the Islanders zone. Here's Brent Sutter on the right wing. He gives it to Mikko Makela across the King line. Drops it left side to Trottier in front. Score! Beautiful play. Sutter was behind everybody. Brent Sutter got behind everybody in a King uniform, and he just tipped it in for the power play goal with 6:19 to go in the third period. And the Islanders now lead 3-1.
Well, the penalty obviously really hurts, but the Islanders are just outplaying and outskating the Kings here in the third period. Makela to Trottier. A beautiful lead pass, soft wrist pass to Brent Sutter, who just tips it by Melanson. The power play goal at 13:41. And that's a big, big goal for the Islanders, who have dominated here in the third period.
Now the Kings down by their widest margin of the night, 2 goals. Islanders chasing in the Kings zone. Right wing side, and a hard check throw there on Alan Kerr. And the Kings come back to center with a 3-on-1. Carpenter left wing. Carpenter to Nichols in front. He shoots wide to the left side. And the Islanders take it. Carpenter down the left side, gave it to Nichols. He cut to the right and shot it wide to the left. And Nichols kicks at the puck as the Islanders go offside of the King line.
Well, it looked like Carpenter was going to be in a situation where he waited a bit too long to make any kind of play, but he dropped it to Bernie Nichols, who had a better shooting angle. And Nichols, with a defenseman going down, Conroy goes to the right, and Smith is down and out. But Smith, sprawling with the leg pads on the ice, forced Nichols to try and pick the low left corner, and Bernie missed it by a good 6 inches. Bobby Carpenter, a very down season last year. 9 goals in 60 games. He had 53 in 84-85 for the Capitals. He has an assist here tonight on the Kings' only goal by Mark Hardy, and he almost had another assist on a goal which would have been a big goal for the Kings after Brent Sutter scored.
We played about 14.5 minutes of the third period, and the Kings don't have a shot yet. This is reminiscent of the Islanders in the first period. They went all the way to 1:15 left before they got their first shot. Comes at a bad time for the Kings, though. They're down by 2. Here's Nichols, Islanders zone, right wing side. Nichols with a shot, saved by Billy Smith. And Brent Sutter for New York starts it back the other way to Greg Gilbert. Gilbert at the red line, shoots it into the Kings zone. Hit Carroll toward the back of the net, taken there by Duchesne. Duchesne comes around the right side, passes all the way out to center ice, taken away there by Morrow. Morrow giving it now at center ice as the Islanders bring it in. Richard Crom to Trottier, now to Crom. He's bumped in the King zone by Wells. Puck comes around the left side to Robitaille. 4:53 to go, third period. Here's Robitaille, left wing, Islanders zone. Robitaille centers it over on the right side, trying to get it to Taylor. He couldn't get it. Islanders come back. Makela at center ice, down the right side, cut off by Wells. Makela still with it. Centers it in the middle, back to Makela. His pass in front, tipped wide by Trottier. Now Trottier again shooting, and he scores! Just to the right of the net with Melanson down and Hardy all over Trottier. Somehow he got his stick on it and flipped it into the net. With 4:32 to go, the Islanders now lead 4-1.
Well, it's been a rough night for the Carson Robitaille-Taylor line. They've been victimized quite a few times here in the third period, and the Islanders just outworking them, out-muscling them, forcing some bad plays, and Trottier all alone just chips it by. Brody Melanson, as he picked it out of the air, he had a couple of whacks at it. So like LaFontaine earlier in the game, Trottier was allowed to get his own rebound, not once, but twice.
So Makela and Thomas Johnson with the assists on it at 15-28. And back down the right wing come the Islanders' Randy Wood. He comes around the net, sends it up the left side to Conroy. He fires it around into in deep in the King zone. It's broken up there and cleared by Duncanson to center to Bourne to Kudelski, right wing. He shoots from the blue line, a rising shot off the glass. Puck taken by Duncanson, left wing side, in deep. Duncanson throws it behind the net, broken up there by Randy Wood. 3:53 left to go in the third period. Kings have one shot here in this third period. Puck comes up to center ice. Randy Wood gets knocked down there, and Greg Gilbert drives it into the King zone. 3 goals in the third period so far by the New York Islanders. Now Dan Bratton from the blue line with a blast, and it's just tipped wide by Billy Smith. Wide of the left goal post. Puck comes to Laidlaw. Laidlaw to Duncanson. Now down in the corner, sent by Gratton behind the Islander net, around to the right point to Duchesne. Duchesne, his shot wide. Rebound left side, taken by the Kings. Here's Gratton behind the net to McKenna. McKenna in the Islander zone. Around the right side, he's checked there, drops it to Duncanson. Duncanson, his shot from the right circle, hit a skate. Denis Potvin with it. Potvin clears it to center and off the boards on the right side, chased in by Alan Kerr. He shoots wide to the left. Rebound comes off the boards all the way back to center. 10,748 here tonight. They saw a tight game till the third period when the Islanders have broken it open with 3 goals. Puck taken by Jay Wells. He sends it around the right side now. Here is McKenna passing out to center ice. Broken up there. Kings send it back into the Islanders zone. Now cleared out to center and down to the King zone. We're going to get an icing call here against New York. Jay Wells back to touch it, but we're down to 2:26 to go in what's turning out to be a disappointing night for the Kings.
Well, you look at the 4 goals that the Islanders have scored, 2 of them unassisted, the direct result of giveaways by the Kings. The LaFontaine goal, and then he had 4 whacks at the puck to try and put it in. But the goal that has really put the game away, Trottier, after they sent it through the slot, Makela gets it in front. Trottier with 1 shot. Then he picks it out of the air and puts in his own rebound with the puck about 2 feet off the ice. That's what LaFontaine did, only he had a couple of more opportunities to do it. Wood took advantage of a Robitaille giveaway, and Brent Sutter on a power play on a bang-bang passing play with Makela, Trottier, and Brent Sutter teaming up. And offensively, the Kings have had virtually nothing here in the third period. The Islanders, Bob, just outworking the Kings here in the third period.
Puck comes down to the King blue line, and Bobby Carpenter back to get it. Carpenter throws it to Hardy. St. Louis Blues here Saturday night. Edmonton Oilers here on Sunday night. Kings' first 5 games of this season are here at home. Islanders with it. Greg Gilbert left side. His pass up the middle, intercepted by Bernie Nichols. Nichols on the right wing. Nichols drops it back now on the red line. It's taken by Fox. Fox gives it to Redmond left side. Redmond in deep. Goes behind the net. Loses it there. The puck taken away by Gord Dineen. He clears it out to center. Taken by Dean Kennedy. Kennedy's pass knocked down at center ice. Now comes into the King zone. 1:37 remaining in this game. Remember, we'll have our post-game show. Nick will be chatting with a star of this game. Here's Randy Wood. Flips it into the King zone. Puck is tipped away. Back out to center ice. Taken there and flipped by Conroy into the King zone where Rolly Melanson stops it. Kings going to go winless in their opening games in the last 7 years. And now the Kings are called for icing with 1:11 left to go in this game. And the Islanders have broken it open here in the third period. Faceoff moves back into the King zone. Mike Murphy behind the bench. Third period shots 11-1 in favor of the Islanders. So the Kings concentrating on defense, but not that much. Faceoff is to the right of Melanson. Taken now by the Kings as Duchesne gets it to Robitaille. Ahead to center to Carson. Here's Jimmy Carson into the Islanders zone. He gets knocked down. 1 minute left to go in the game. Puck is back to Carson. Islanders zone. He centers it. Intercepted by Denis Potvin. Potvin comes to the red line, shoots it down into the Kings zone. Here's a shot by Basson, broken up by Laidlaw, who was on his knees, and the Kings clear it to center. 43 seconds remaining now in the third period, and the puck goes up out of play into the crowd. 4-1 Islanders. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
You're watching the cable network of champions, Prime Ticket, where you'll see the Los Angeles Kings and the Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers Sunday night at 7:15.
Well, we've got a penalty coming up here to Steve Duchesne with 37 seconds remaining in the game. 2 minutes for delay of the game. He shot the puck up out of play. Kings with only one shot here in the third period. So the Islanders with a 4-1 lead now have the power play, and Bob Bourne wants to talk with referee Dennis Morrell about that, and so does Jay Wells. Remember, to stay tuned on our radio portion after the game to KLAC, they'll be giving away some tickets to Saturday night's game with the St. Louis Blues. Puck is at center ice, taken by LaFontaine. He shoots from the right wing, deflected wide. 26 seconds left to go in the third period. Here's Bob Bourne with it. Bourne for the Kings in the Kings zone to Sykes. He lifts it high in the air and down into the Islander zone. 15 seconds remaining now. Islanders start out of their own end. They've got this one wrapped up. 8 seconds remaining. Pass into the Kings zone. Melanson breaks it up. Can't clear it. Alan Kerr, 3 seconds. Shot wide over there, high over the net at the buzzer. And that's the end of the game. Derek King shot it wide. And the game ends with the Islanders taking advantage of the third period as they win this game tonight over the 4-1. We'll be right back to recap the third period. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
The Forum is once again set to become the launching pad for the rockets fired by some of the world's greatest volleyball talent. It's Great Western Team Cup Volleyball. And for the second straight year, Prime Ticket will bring you exclusive coverage from the Forum. Last season's innovative concept featured co-ed play. This season, it's just the men, so watch out for incredible action. Great Western Team Cup Volleyball. See it happen right here on Prime Ticket.
It's the Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers, led by the great one, Wayne Gretzky, ready to battle the Kings. A powerful Smythe Division matchup Sunday night right here on Prime Ticket.
All right, time to call it a day. That's not what I had in mind.
Come on, we'll show you how a good time goes. We're going to a place where they talk Strohs. Cause a good time's better with a good time beer. And Strohs is smoking here.
Here's how the good times get better. Strohs and Stroh Light, 15 and 30 packs. A convenient package at a special value. Get them wherever you buy your beer.
Strohs is smoking here.
Introducing the Lisa McDougall copier, the Bill Stevens copier, the Tom DeLuca copier.
Sharp introduces the Z70, the compact copier you can call your own. It enlarges and reduces, copies in 5 different colors, works where you work, is easy to use and easy to maintain.
The John Eastwood copier.
The affordable Z70, one of the new Sharp copiers you can call your own.
Well, the New York Islanders ruined the Kings opening night here at the fabulous Forum. 4-1, the Islanders beating the Kings. In the third period, the Kings offense deserted them, but not the Islanders. They got 3 goals in that period. Rookie Randy Wood getting his first unassisted at 4:09. Then Brent Sutter, the new captain of the Islanders, getting a power play goal, his first of the year, from Trache and Makela at 13:41. And then Trache ending the scoring with his first of the year from Makela and Thomas Johnson at 15-28, and that made it 4-1 in favor of the Islanders. As we said, the Kings, with simply no offense whatsoever in the third period, they had only one shot on goal in that period for 20 in the game. The Islanders had 11 shots in the third period, and they ended up with 24 in the game. So for the 7th straight year, the Kings do not win the season opener. They have lost 4 of those and tied 3. They've got 2 more games coming up this weekend now as they take on the St. Louis Blues on Saturday night, and that game will be on KLAC radio, starting with our pregame talk show at 10 minutes to 7. Then on Sunday night, the Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers with Wayne Gretzky come into the Forum to take on the Kings. That'll be on KLAC with our pregame talk show at 10 minutes to 7 and live on the Prime Ticket Television Network at 7:15. Our player of the game tonight, and he'll be talking live with Nick in just a couple of moments, Bryan Trottier. He had an assist and a goal in this game tonight. So the Islanders win it. For Nick Nixon, this is Bob Miller. Thanks very much for being with us tonight. The final score, the Islanders 4, the Kings 1. Stay tuned now for Kings Wrap-Up, which follows immediately.
Prime Ticket has presented the Los Angeles Kings. Exciting National Hockey League action has been brought to you by your Southern California Chevrolet dealers, who offer over 90 car, truck, and van models. No matter what your lifestyle or budget, don't buy a car without seeing your Southern California Chevrolet dealer. By Stroh's and Stroh Light. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is spoken here. By Discount Tire Centers. For championship performance and unbeatable prices, Discount Tire Centers. We cut prices, not quality. By Great Western's family of companies, over $28 billion in assets, 100 years strong. We'll always be there. And by Avis, who invites you to go in style with a new Cadillac or similar luxury car for only $45 a day. Remember, your other car is an Avis.
When whippoorwills call, blue, blue heaven. I hurry to my blue heaven. Labatt's blue. A turn to the right will lead you to my imported beer from Canada.
When you rent a car from Avis, it comes with a lot of people who want to make sure you're satisfied. Reservation and counter people, mechanics, managers and maintenance people. They're Avis. You may not always see them, but they're there. Rent a Cadillac Seville from Avis for only $45 a day.
Prime Ticket will be your place to watch America's Olympic hopefuls as they set off for the road to Seoul. For the next year, up to the Summer Olympic Games in Korea, Prime Ticket will bring you events that will showcase our greatest amateur athletic talent. Such events as track and field, swimming, volleyball, and water polo are just some of the exciting competitions you'll see in the coming year on Prime Ticket. So join Prime Ticket on the road to Seoul and watch the future American champion athletes in action.
Catch all the excitement with King's Season Seats.
I'm Jimmy Carson of Kings. Remember, if you want to see us play, just turn your cable dial right here to Prime Ticket.
Prime Ticket presents King's Corner. This recap of tonight's hockey action is brought to you by Toyota. Quality right down the line. Who could ask for anything more? And by Beck's Beer. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
Hello again, everybody. Back here at the fabulous Forum where the New York Islanders have spoiled the Kings' home and season opener by defeating Los Angeles 4-1. And our player of the game is veteran center, former All-Star, and a real outstanding talent, needless to say, Brian Trottier, who had a goal and an assist in that third period. Brian, we were just chatting. You did to the Kings in that third period what the Kings did to you in the first period, shut down the offense.
Well, Smitty shut down their offense in the first period. He made a couple of real great saves, and it kind of gave us a lift and kind of calmed them down a little bit, and then we kind of got our offense going a little bit in the third period, and we capitalized on them.
Now, you picked up 2 points in that third period. Your goal really put the game away. We'll get a look at it on the simulcast monitor, and you had one chance right before you did score.
Oh, Mikko and Tommy made a really nice play. They called me a European who couldn't put the puck in the net. When Mikko passed across the ice, I just went to just push it into the net, and it slipped right behind Roley. Then Mikko flipped it back out. Now I get it here, and I tried to flip it up over Roley. I missed it, but it was just hanging in the air, and I just tapped it in. Kind of a fluke, but you take those.
Brian, you're not going to be with your longtime right winger Mike Bossy this year, and we understand that Mikko Makela has been skating with you almost since the start of training camp. What kind of adjustment are you going to have to make, if any, in your game?
Well, not a lot, really. I'm going to miss Mike for the time that he's going to be out. You just kind of throw the puck into the hole, and Mike's there. But Mikko is a heck of a hockey player, and I'm not going to change my game all that much. I'm gonna shoot a little more now that Mike's not there, but I'll tell you, to have Mikko on there, he does everything well. He's a big, strong kid. He skates strong. He's fast. He's deceptive, and he's got some nice moves. He can handle a puck really well. He's got makes nice passes, and he's a good heads-up hockey player. Very heady, very smart and talented for a young guy.
We were told that you're in pretty good shape. This is your 13th year with the Islanders. You tried out for Team USA in the Canada Cup, but you had a slight injury. But needless to say, you've been skating for a while. Do you feel like you're really in top shape?
This year, Nick, is probably the best I've felt physically. It seems like every year you got to work a little harder during the off season to prepare yourself. And you know, when you're out early in the playoffs, I mean, we had a little success last year, but you get that time to physically heal and to really wind yourself up physically and mentally, and I've been doing that, and it's been paying dividends. I mean, I feel strong physically and mentally. You know, you're biting at the bit, and you're enthusiastic. And when you see the youngsters that we have in the dressing room on our team, and they're so enthusiastic and they're just so excited to be in the NHL, it even adds a little more to it.
The offense last year for the Islanders predominantly centered around yourself, the other two centers, Mike Bossy and Mikko Makela. You're really going to have to grind out a lot of games this year, aren't you?
Well, we have to be prepared to grind out a lot of games because of the fact that we don't have that 50-goal scorer in the lineup, but we have a lot of guys that are capable of scoring big goals on the second and third effort, and we scored a few tonight like that, you know, rebounds and, chipping away, missing the first opportunity, getting another chance, putting it in. And that's just the kind of hockey we're going to have to play. And if we don't come out ready in the first period, we're going to end up being 2 goals down. And it's tough coming back against any team in the league when you're 2 goals down. If we keep it close, you know, we feel that over the long run, if we have all 60 minutes, we'll be able to, stay close and maybe eke out, maybe 1 or 2 goal victory.
Brian Trottier, the great center from the New York Islanders, has been our guest once again. The New York Islanders defeating the Los Angeles Kings in the opener for both clubs. Islanders 4, Kings 1. We'll be back with more. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
If you could ask
for Toyota quality and get a truckload of free options, free chrome bumpers, style steel wheels, sports striping, full carpeting, cloth bench seats, all free. $555 worth of free options. The new limited edition Toyota trucks. Buy Toyota quality first. The money you save is yours to play with. Now who's looking out for number 1?
Toyota. Who could ask for anything more?
There are over 4,000 beers brewed in Germany, but only a few have made it to America. And of those few, the one that's made it to the top is Beck's. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer. Beers keep pouring into this country from all over the world, but the best beer still comes from Germany. And the best German beer in America is Beck's. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer.
Want to find out the scores of the day, the fast-breaking sports news, and the people who make it? Then you want Prime Ticket Daily News Dial Sports. It's the fastest, easiest way to find out game analysis, weather information, player injuries, and with up-to-the-minute reporting 24 hours a day with fresh updates every 5 minutes. Plus, find out what's on Prime Ticket tonight. Just call 213-976-1313. Prime Ticket, daily news-style sports.
How would you like to win a week on the exotic Hawaiian island of Maui with airfare and hotel accommodations included? Sound great? Well, here's all you gotta do. Enter the Send Me to Maui contest by correctly identifying the mystery phrase that'll be revealed on each of Prime Ticket's Team Cup volleyball cable casts. A letter of the phrase will be unveiled each show. Once you have the entire phrase, send it on a postcard with your name, address, phone number, and cable system to Send Me to Maui contest, P.O. Box 10, Inglewood, California. The winner will be announced on the October 16th cable cast of the USA Cup game.
Tonight, the New York Islanders skated to a 4-1 victory over the Los Angeles Kings. The Islanders, on this opening night of the 1987-88 season, handing the Kings their 7th consecutive year of not being able to win on opening night. Now, as far as the other games around the National Hockey League are concerned, there was a full slate of activity this evening. In fact, just about everybody was in action. And let's take a look at the scoreboard right now. We have Vancouver leading St. Louis 6-2. That game's still going on. Third period. Everything else should be final. Calgary defeated Detroit tonight 5-1. Boston over Washington. The final there was 4-3. Quebec knocked off Hartford 5-1. Minnesota and Buffalo skated to a 2-2 tie. Same score in the Montreal-Philadelphia game, 2-2. Toronto beat Chicago 7-5. Pittsburgh and the New York Rangers ended up tied 4-4. We have a chance tonight to visit with injured Kings defenseman Larry Playfair. I almost got the feeling that was your first name last year, injured Kings defenseman and the Larry Playfair. Well, Larry had major knee surgery. I guess it's been about 7 months. How are you coming along now with that, Larry?
Fine. I mean, it's to the point where now I'm skating and doing most of the drills in practice, with the exception of contact drills, and I think that's just going to be a matter of time. And the doctor gave me a date of December the 1st to start playing games, so I'm hoping maybe just a bit before that, but everything's ahead of schedule, and it feels good. I don't have any swelling or anything after a pretty good workout on it, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Are you kind of excited about joining this team? Despite the defeat tonight, there's been a lot of optimism surrounding this club.
Well, I think we've got a good squad. I mean, training camp, things went real well there. A lot of promising things. A couple of new kids looked like they were going to do real well, Grattan and Duncanson, and the kids that played well for us last year look like they're going to play well again this year, and a lot of positive things, like you said, Rich, and yeah, I'm kind of excited to get back.
Well, it was a 1-1 tie at the end of the first 2 periods of play. Why don't we take a look now, Larry, at what happened in the third period, because this is where the Kings lost it. First of all, they had a 1-1 tie, and we see a mistake here cost the Kings.
See, I think Lukey dumped it up the middle, and that's a real big no-no in your own end. You don't want to do that, and this kid just wires one. I don't think Rolly's seen it. I think Dino screened them, but again, like, we know better than that, and I'm sure if you had asked Lukey, he'd certainly agree with us that you never make a play like that deep in your own end up the middle.
That was Randy Wood scoring the goal at 4:09, and then Brent Sutter gave him an insurance goal.
Watch this. I mean, Sutter comes in almost unmolested, and he stands at the corner of the net. Watch this. It's right on his stick, and boom. I mean, he picked it out of the air a little bit, but nobody was even touching it.
Beautiful centering pass from Brian Trottier, who had himself quite a night. He's quite a hockey player.
Boy, isn't he? I mean, the old guy keeps going, and